Hello. We are live.
Hello.
Hello.
How are
Hello. We are live.
We are live from the apocalypse.
Why we apocalypse?
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
How's everybody doing tonight out there, y'all? Everybody good? I feel like that our streams recently have just sort of had this like air of exhaustion about them every time we go live. I don't know. I'm just feeling that's like the vibe. I don't know. I'm fine. Everything's fine. How are you? Welcome. This is Live from the Apocalypse. This is the channel where we play tabletop role-playing games, usually, sometimes other things. We mix in like a video game stream here and there sometimes, but we do all of that to benefit organizations, aid organizations, nonprofits, people doing good work for very little money. That's our bread and butter. So if you like what you see here, as we're playing these silly little pretend games, you can, instead of giving all your money to Jeff Bezos and Amazon, you can instead give it directly to the organization that we are platforming, which in this case is Planned Parenthood. And if you don't know what Planned Parenthood is, where you been? Where you been, friend? It's a wild time to live in the United States of America right now, as it so often is. And the work that Planned Parenthood does is so invaluable and critical, and it would be a literal tragedy if it were to go away. So Planned Parenthood is great. The work that they do with reproductive rights, super important. They work with sexual education, access to abortion, just general health care for women and men. A lot of people in the United States, it's their only access to affordable health care. So yeah, we're raising money for them. If you like what you see here, don't give your money to Amazon. Don't give your money to us. Give your money to them. You can donate, hit !PP donate in the chat, and it'll call up the link. You can click on that. You can throw the $5, the $6, whatever you would have spent to subscribe towards Planned Parenthood instead. If you want to give more, then you are more than welcome to, but don't feel like you have to. And if you do, if you have like a Prime sub or whatever, like don't stress about it. If you wanna subscribe, I guess you could subscribe to us if you want. That money also goes to very good causes whenever we get paid out.
Justin, fucking grip it, baby.
Nice.
That
Just
down,
like that.
dude.
Nice.
Sick.
One for the big boy.
Karen, my
Thank you for your
beloved.
donation.
Thanks, Mom.
Thank you,
So that's what
Mama.
happens. That's what happens if you donate. You get the McElroy brothers to yell at us. If you subscribe, Brendan Lee Mulligan kills a dog. So choose wisely. Yeah. And bits, all that stuff, do whatever you want to do, go for it. We have channel points. You can use the emotes. You can unlock the emotes with that. You can react to the dumb things we say. Just like that. One of them's my face. Oh, okay. Hello. My
I'm giving
mother and
examples. I'm
stepsister.
not trying to
Cool.
say-
No, you're fine. My mom just told me that my stepsister is also watching. So hello.
Yeah.
Hi. Hey. Yeah, we're gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Woo.
Is that all the stuff? This is class reunion.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
a silly game where this is a silly game about 4 high school students from Ohio who
Ex-high
accidentally
school.
got
Come on.
ex-high school, yeah, who got transported to a magical Dungeons and Dragons-esque world where they have been trapped for 10 years, separated from one another. They have recently been reunited with one another and are kind of still feeling out who they have become in that intermittent decade and how they fit together. A lot of stuff has happened to them. A lot of crazy stuff.
Yep.
Your best friends and
trauma.
role model, I would say, Ryan Beckinsale was murdered right in front of you.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Maybe not. Who knows?
P or P's or whatever they're doing to him.
Yeah. And you are presently journeying to try to figure out what happened with his body. you are following a hunch that it may have had something to do with the enormous necropolis that exists in the north of the Kingdom of Aloran. And you have recently, as of last session, infiltrated said necropolis, or at least started the process. You're connected with a smuggler by the name of Eddie Monahan, and he took you on a magical car ride across the barren floor of the slums of Barrow, where you were immediately swarmed by fast zombies.
Hell yeah.
And that's where we stopped last time, mid combat.
where we
So,
are.
so I'm just gonna, I'll just be over here. You guys remember balls? Is that a thing? Everybody out there in the chat, you remember balls? We were talking about this earlier. Is this is it an age thing or a regional thing? Because like everybody I know drank balls, but some of our cast members who are from Florida have never heard of it. They're also
Ain't
they're also a
never
little
heard of
younger.
that
You
in
never
the
heard of
South,
balls.
mind
Do you have balls? Do you have balls in Florida?
I've never.
Hard to say. Really,
Okay.
Florida's a big
One.
place. You could drive for like 12 hours and not get out of Florida. Somewhere there's got to be
Cool.
balls.
Well, we'll see if
I'm gonna start looking for it actually.
Let's go on a road trip.
DoorDash it to yourself.
Yeah.
Mom, if you're still watching, close the stream. Um,
No, stay.
you did, Justin. That's correct. Yeah, everyone I knew drank balls. Did you have balls in Canada? Inquiring minds want to know. I'm the inquiring minds.
Oh, we've got
With
one.
that being said,
Nope.
I love it.
Keep us updated
Good.
on the family opinion of the stream. We're
Please, yeah.
shouldn't
We're heavily invested
Uh-huh.
in your investment.
I'm not gonna. I just want everybody to know I'm not gonna let this color my performance. I'm gonna do whatever I would normally do. So we're very professional here. All right. All of that being said, let's get into it. There's the map. There's the current situation. Yeah, that's fair. I never know what's going on either. We paused mid-initiative. We had just finished a round. So we are going to hop right back in. Top of the round. Where is the thing? Here it is. Which would put us at Kelly, I believe.
Oh boy. It's time for me to not be a terrible cleric.
We'll see.
We'll see. That is true because now we gotta see if these little buddies can beat my wisdom save.
Little buddies.
So I'm going to try to channel divinity, turn undead, which they do have a chance to resist. They have to make a wisdom save. This is not something that Kelly has ever done before. So I imagine this is not something that she does consciously. I think in the excitement of everything and all the hyping up, it's sort of kind of like started to like crackle, and then she looks very staticky. And then it's going to like pulse out in like that same lilac purple kind of energy that all of the clerical related magic has, and just burst at the undead clinging to the car and trying to rip it to pieces. Why are you coming over here?
Very cool. Go ahead and roll that if you would be so kind.
I don't think it's something I roll. I think it's something they roll to.
Oh, is
To
it? Okay, it's like a
resist.
save. Okay.
They have
all
to.
right.
They have to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Very cool. All right. They're probably very good at that.
Mhm.
Potentially, we'll
If
find
I had
out.
to guess. You said a wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I don't know if I should even roll for that. That's so high.
Go on.
Actually, does a 17 make it?
They
Yeah,
beat
it-
my fear too. These
Yeah. That
zombies,
will
man.
in
I-
fact.
Gambos, man.
Listen, peek behind the screen here. They have a +0. It's just Justin's cursed D20.
It's just that you're cheating.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I know that curse.
cheating.
You put it in the oven for a while. The wax melts a little bit.
Yeah, cheating by rolling an Amherst die, perhaps. Amherst at Amherst Dice on Twitter. Get at them.
Sponsor.
So that is
Not sponsored.
So Kelly continues to be a bad cleric, on par. That is an
that's fine.
action.
So that was one of them, right? You were targeting one, or one of them only one of them had to make the save.
No, if they're within 30 feet of me.
Okay. Well, that's a lot of them. I feel like
Yes.
it would probably not be fair to make one save. Are they all within 30 feet of you? Yeah.
Nice.
I think they are all exactly, maybe not yellow one, but literally I think everybody else is. Please zoom in. Thank you. No, don't. This is fine. Yeah, okay, so I think yellow one is the only one who is not within 30 feet of you. Just barely. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so that's a lot of rolls.
Sure is, bud.
Feel bad that I did this to myself, but fair is
You
fair.
roll them by group, right? That's what you did last time.
Oh, that's true. They are color grouped.
Yeah,
We
you
should probably just do that.
Yeah, they're taking initiative all in their color, so I think that's fair.
Yeah,
Mm,
I think that makes sense. So we'll say that was for the blue group. So next up I will
Blue crew.
roll blue crew for the red crew. That is only a 10.
They fail.
They fail.
So
All right.
they fail, and also if any of them are within range, which I think red 2 is in range of, Max can take an attack of opportunity as red 2 runs away.
Checks out. And what is the effect of this? Is it scared?
Yes, this is just
Okay.
turn undead, so basically they have to get
Yeah.
away from me.
Cool. All right. Well, a lot of these are scared now
Oh, wait,
because
yeah.
some. What's
Yeah,
up?
just I'm just
You said-
checking. Wisdom saving throw. If it fails its saving throw, turned for 1 minute, or until it takes damage, the creature must spend. So yeah, so you can attack it as it goes away. If you attack it, it just is no longer afraid.
Okay. I
Oh,
don't
so
think
if
they can be.
so if I attack it as
It won't
like
run away.
it won't run away.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's a choice.
We
You have to
Max has to do what's in his heart. Because here's the
Big
thing:
brain.
Kelly is not saying anything. Kelly is just all of a sudden like seizing up a little bit and then letting off a burst of purple static electricity, which probably passes harmlessly through the rest of you guys.
Yeah, we all get like a tingly.
I imagine it's like the end of the first X-Men movie where the like bubble is expanding outside of Magneto.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
Rogue.
Potentially the only person who would recognize what this is might be Wayne. But I don't know if Wayne would recognize. Because I
That's
think
like-
this is also something a paladin can do.
That's some dope magic right there. That's pretty cool.
He recognizes it as dope magic.
Pretty dope magic. I don't know.
So that was red,
Mhm.
and now we are doing yellow, and that'll be everybody. And they also failed. They only rolled a 3. So
Damn.
Nice.
Yellow
So
is
literally
also
two of them are not
scared.
scared right now.
Yes,
Blue
correct.
1 and blue 4.
Blue 1.
Also, I
and
have
blue-
written down blue 3
Oh, yeah.
has disadvantage because of my crusher feat.
Okay.
I don't
Keep-
really remember what that means. Like I know what my crusher
You
feat
crushed.
is, but
Crushed
Yeah, you
it.
crushed one of
Crushed
them.
I did.
Smushed.
Okay. Are you doing bonus action, movement, anything like that?
Bonus action, since the blue ones did not get scared, the spiritual weapon is going to take a attempted BAP. Which let me just click back over to.
To be fair, half of them were already scared, I think, from Wayne.
But I didn't make them run away. They just peed themselves a little bit.
That's true.
Now they
Uh,
are extra
yeah.
scared.
Now they have to run
Now they have to
away.
run. Yeah.
Now they have to run away. True.
Now they have to fucking leave.
Paladin, I'm like cleric light.
Yeah. Cleric with the sword.
They were really scared.
Yeah. Beat himself a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna. Does a 9 hit? I don't think it does.
An armor class? No.
Yeah, no.
Love that movie.
Almost impossible.
Dude, what is Brandon scared about?
We should more movies,
I
more
remain-
sequels should be titled that way.
I remain a poor cleric.
It's true.
The cleric
Alright.
was not by choice. It was by throwing yourself
you were-
off of a wall.
Calling.
You were chosen. It is literally a calling. Blue is next. Half of them are scared regardless, but in this case, that is going to mean that they just take disadvantage, right?
That is correct.
Okay, cool. So then they're going to continue to just try to wail on the wagon here. Wail on the wagon. With disadvantage.
Wagon
ooh,
whale.
Wagon whale.
Wagon
That
whale.
is
There you
very
go.
good. Not the joke. That was not good. But the roll was very good.
Joke was killing.
Joke was a
So
stunt.
was the roll.
Okay, cool. So
So much hair. No one can see the cat that's on my lap, so that was a weird thing to say.
no, it's
But
fine.
he does
I
have a
wasn't
lot of
gonna-
cat. He does have a lot of hair.
A lot of cat in that cat. That's a miss.
This is a cat heavy cast.
Thanks to disadvantage. That's an even better roll.
Oh.
So let's see.
Disadvantage, please. God.
I know. And yet, here we are.
Yeah.
That's a miss. Thanks to disadvantage.
Sweet.
That's a natural 20. Oh,
At a
fuck, but it's-
disadvantage?
Yeah, fuck.
Yes.
So the other one's a 2. So that's less than ideal. All right. Moving on to the ones that don't have disadvantage. Kind of wish I had rolled that natural 20 then. Guess what?
Stop.
No.
No, you didn't.
No.
Got a little
No.
lighthouse. I got a little lighthouse showing on this D20. That's a 20.
Lighthouse looks a lot like a 1.
I don't know how you're gonna continue running this game if you kill us all.
I mean, you're not going to die. They're attacking the car. They're not even attacking you.
Not yet. Randy. Lost audio because he's trying to murder us. The stream is not about it.
It's
You
fine.
rolled a nat
I'm
1.
back.
Oh.
I'm back. It did the thing again. It's been doing this a lot recently. Okay. But that's fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply the damage from that natural 20. Which I'm excited about. I don't know about you all.
Not really.
Sure.
Probably safe to say we're all
yes.
excited.
I'm excited to see what happens.
Yay.
Just happy to be here.
Yeah.
Just happy to be here.
It's an honor, honestly.
Honor to be in this boat.
Okay. So those other ones miss. So just those couple of hits hit, and then the rest they fail to get through the plating on the outside of the meat wagon. So parts of it have definitely been torn off and will continue to be torn off. You can now see, like, if you look over the side, since those were the blue zombies, especially on the front, it is starting to look threadbare, for lack of a better term. They're rapidly running out of bits of plating and things that they can pull off, which means that they are getting very close to the internal structure. Not a great position to be in, unfortunately. all that being said, that was the blue zombies, which means it is now Max's turn.
Okay. I have it written down that my next move, I have an alchemist fire in my hand, ready to chuck. And I'm going to throw it. I'm in a rage, just to remind everyone. I'm in a rage. I have my big tail. It's I forget the dinosaur name, but it's the dinosaur with the big spiky ball tail.
Ankylosaurus.
And DM, you did say to remind you.
Velociraptor.
No, you said that I could, if I could suck in the spikes in my tail and have it do bludgeoning damage instead of spiky damage.
I do recall that.
It doesn't sound like
setting.
something I would say.
You don't remember? I remember.
We didn't like it.
Anyway,
Tapes.
so with that in mind, I'm going to run over to you said the front is getting messed up?
Mhm.
That is what is currently getting most messed
Okay,
up,
and then
yeah.
I'm going to chuck the alchemist fire to blue 4.
All
How
right.
do I do that? I actually don't
Okay.
know how to do that.
Directly at blue 4.
Yes.
Go for it. Go ahead and roll.
What? Strength?
It's, I believe, an attack roll for alchemist fire, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
Sure, I
It's
just
like
don't
a-
know what.
it's a thrown. It's a thrown weapon. Yeah.
Depends on how hard you throw it, I guess.
Yeah.
So it would be with my strength. Okay.
I believe it is a ranged attack. I believe it uses dexterity.
Nah.
I
What
think
if I
so.
use my
I'm
muscles
pretty sure.
to
Okay.
fuck it?
If anybody in the chat knows or wants to look it up, feel
a
free.
dex-
But I
think
know
it's
that
a-
Yeah, just
a
have
dex.
fucking grip it, baby.
Aw.
I was gonna
I
give
Lock
my
that down,
man his
dude.
chance.
Shit, yeah, dude. Crack one for
thank
the big
you
boy.
for the donation. Some advantage because your car is dying. That is true.
All right. let's do
Actually, I need
this.
to add a couple of these because we got a donation when we first started.
Oh, that's right. Thank you,
Yes.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Kelly. Thank you, Mama.
Thanks.
All right. So this is
Mom.
just straight
And, Anonymous.
Dex.
I think it's
Come
Dex
on,
plus
Max.
proficiency.
Oh,
Like
Yeah,
how
I
you have
believe it's an
proficiency
attack
with
roll.
throwing a
Okay.
dagger.
Okay. So it's 9.
Sick.
Okay.
That's what I-
But
'Cause I was
it's an
gonna say, I
alchemist
know in
fire,
prior
so it
editions-
shatters.
Yeah. You don't have touch AC in this in 5e, so I'm not sure how
In the
how that
in the
would work
boat,
normally.
it shatters in the boat.
Shatters on the
I throw it
inside.
to 9. I don't hit him, but alchemist fire. Let's look it up.
I was gonna say,
Balls
Monahan's just gonna
at
kick us off
Eddie's
the boat.
feet.
Mama.
It explodes.
he
explodes.
catches it and then throws it back at you. He's
Monk?
extremely he is the star pitcher of the fast zombie softball team. He does
Shattering
the like
on
underhand
impact.
wind up and everything.
Okay, I missed. I just lost that alchemist fire. That's fine. I don't matter. I just say
It goes under the treads. It goes under the treads of the wagon and
yeah,
just
it was
kind of
more.
leaves
It
a
was
burning
a
pool
threat,
in your
really.
wake.
It was really just a
Yeah,
threat.
for sure.
And then
Yep.
I'm gonna actually run over to here. And B2 and B3 are scared because of Wayne, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
If I hit them, will they be unscared? I don't know
No.
this, so I'm just
I don't
going
think so.
to go for it.
They're
Um,
not turned, they're just scared.
Gotcha. Cool. So, actually, I'll stand. Yeah, that's good. And I'm like, I chuck the alchemist fire. I don't even see that it misses. I assume it hits because I was in lacrosse. It's basically the same. And
Were
as
you?
I chuck it, I do a
Well, that's
full
I think
circle.
that's Max's secret. Max has never seen himself miss, and therefore assumes he's never missed.
In my mind, I say I hit. I
Yeah.
hit something. So I throw it and I just like keep swiveling in a circle and the tail just like goes in a big giant swing and I use that momentum to bash into B2 with my big dinosaur monster tail.
This is your Balzosaurus tail?
It's my Balzosaurus tail.
Yeah.
Bludgeoning damage. DM.
I assume it has to be because, as everybody knows, the Balzosaurus was the only dinosaur that could retract the spikes on its tail.
Exactly.
So
That's a 13.
13 hits.
Oh,
Yes.
thank God.
I hit twice. And
I like that the captions interpreted that as "I hate sports."
oh man. Okay, I keep forgetting. Okay. And I roll 1d12 plus 4. Plus, I lied. It's plus 6 because I'm raging. Oh,
Got a lot of
Mhm.
actions on your turn.
You sure
I
do.
got
Why
two
are you get to
attacks.
attack twice?
yeah.
Too many,
Yeah.
some might say. Not me, but some.
There we go. I hit him for 13 damage.
Wow.
Sick.
And which that
Um,
was which one?
That was B2.
All right.
Oh, wait.
Think.
Okay, hold on. Because I'm using bludgeoning damage too. Hold on. There's a whole list of things that I got here. I thought I was prepared and I forgot to pull up everything that I need.
The
That's
blue
not
group was
what-
the last one to show up, right?
Mhm.
I think so.
Who's to say?
Okay. Yeah, because I think this is the first time that one's been damaged.
Okay. Well,
I
it'll
think
be
it
the last
was-
time because it's about to die.
I was gonna say, I think it was red first, red, then yellow, then blue.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hit
That sounds
B2 with my for 13 damage with my tail. I'm also going to because it's bludgeoning damage and I hit it. It's actually going to I'm gonna force it. My tail, it doesn't just hit it, it like anime style, like hits it and then poof, pushes it 5 feet away. So it gets flung away.
Okay.
You push him.
Only 5 feet, but 5 feet something.
Well, 5 feet when we are
wait,
moving.
5 feet, 5 feet, and because it's scared of Wayne, it can't move any closer. So it's
Mhm.
that.
And we're moving.
Bye bye.
Well, technically, they haven't been attacking Wayne. They've been attacking the wagon. So
Yeah, that's fine. But they are scared of Wayne, which means they can't move any closer to Wayne. So yeah, and then I turn and I say, "Did you see that? I fucking burned that guy!" And then I just like go to do my next thing. That's my turn.
You're so hype.
You
Yeah,
ready?
the noise gate giveth, and the noise gate taketh away.
I don't know if they can
Um,
hear me over the sound of the engine. So I'm
Right.
just like,
It's just immersive. When every time Raph screams and the noise gate cuts it out, that's just immersive.
It's just the
Um,
engine revving over
Yeah.
Max's swear words.
Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
Perfect.
Anyway,
Okay.
That's my turn.
That's your turn. That's a good turn.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did a lot of things. Next up is our red friends. But unfortunately, I believe they were both afflicted by being turned, which means they do have to flee, correct?
Yes, they must leave.
Mhm.
And they must leave, and they are very fast. So they're probably not gonna be on the map anymore.
They gotta
Nice.
commute. They gotta commute to another conflict. We
Yeah.
can't stay here.
80 miles an hour, 60 minutes in an hour, 6 seconds in a round. 2 + 2 = 5.
Yeah,
Gone in 60
so
seconds.
they have fled. We zoom out, you can see them. There they are, all the way up there.
Oh,
And
nice.
Bye.
yep. Bye-bye. So that's the Reds. That's what they do. They turn and they flee from this crackling electrical light. Next up is your driver, Eddie Monahan.
Up to it, Eddie.
Pop.
He does. He is kind of half control, like he is controlling the car with like one his one, physical arm, and then the other one is just sort of this smoky version of an arm and a hand that you saw him use just a few seconds ago. As he turns to kind of like scan the car and take stock of the situation, his head turns slowly and then suddenly whips back around as you hear him swear loudly.
Oh no.
And in the soft blue light given off by the runes covering the wagon, you can see a swiftly approaching, very small stalagmite. He jerks the wheel to try to avoid it, but unfortunately, the damage that has been done to the front of the wagon thus far, it does not respond quite fast enough, and the edge of the front of the wagon strikes the stalagmite. Lifting the car off, the stalagmite breaks in half. The car rumbles over what's left of the stump, and then continues accelerating, but is now making some very concerning clunking and shuddering noises and motions.
Okay.
And you hear Eddie. You hear Eddie swear again, loudly, and says, "I can't be. Look, we keep going at this pace. She's gonna shake apart. I gotta slow her down. So stay ready." And even as he does so, even as he starts to decelerate, he is gonna have to make a check for that, because the car is not handling particularly well right now.
Oh.
Yeah, he says that, and he starts he jerks the wheel and starts like trying to slow the car down, but even as he does so, you hear a creak of metal followed by a sort of a shrieking noise, and something from the undercarriage flies off out into the darkness.
We don't need it.
And definitely not. And the wagon, the front right section, the front left section drops dramatically to the ground and just starts plowing up dirt and barely travels like 10 more feet before it just completely stops. As that happens, once again, Eddie Monahan is going to kind of, even as he is swearing, he's going to sort of lean over and put his ghostly hand right in the face of Blue 4, the zombie, as it's starting to try to crawl up the side, very spider-like and creepily.
Oh, we hate that.
He's going to put his hand out, and that same sort of eldritch-y energy is going to fly out and strike the creature. Oh, that's the wrong sheet. That's why. So that happens. And as the car plows up this furrow, the zombie actually sort of like is shaken off of it and falls to the ground. Monahan's energy bolt misses, flies right where it used to be. He cusses again, and that is the end of his turn. You are now stopped in the middle of Barrow. I should say, rather, on the outskirts of Barrow, not in the middle. And it's Wayne's turn.
You're muted.
Frig. Knowing that it's blue 3 that's scared of me, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just push him. I'm gonna use one of my attacks to push him.
Okay.
I think it's athletics. Where is my? There we go. All right, D20 coming at you. Ka-chow. Whip. I have to roll it. There we go.
Lightning McCoy.
Nice.
That's a good roll.
16 plus 7. That's a 23.
Nice.
All right.
Does a 23 push DM?
23 does push for sure.
Push.
So you just knock it back 5 feet, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Raph, we don't have that emote.
I have it in my mind.
Okay.
So I push that guy so he can't get any closer to me. My owlbear is not going. So if you can move me up. Oh, wait, no, there we go. It's kind of going. I'm going to move up. I'm going to hop over the barrier here if I can do that. And I'm going to snuggle up in the driver's seat with my guy. and I'm going to take, if I can, I'm going to take a attack action. Or my other attack, I'm going to take with, I'm going to pull out the Gritsky stick and just try and jab it right through his head.
Nice.
Nice.
Through Eddie Monahan's head?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
He's just going to grow a smoke head.
It'll be fine.
That's how that works?
That's a 19.
All right. 19 hits. Which one are you attacking?
I believe it's blue 3, because I think that's the only one that's not scared. Or no, blue 4.
Blue 4.
Blue 4, yeah, that makes sense. Yes, that is definitely going to hit blue 4.
It's a D4. I have too many tabs open. It's a D4.
So many
D10
tabs.
plus 4. Bingo. Ooh, yes. So that's a fat 6 damage. Blowing him away. Blowing him away there.
Alright.
And then, as a bonus action, I can spin the stick around and jab him in the head again.
Okay. Pole
With
arm
my
mastery. Go
Whole
ahead and
arm
do it.
mastery. I think the jab is supposed to be the second part, but I like the idea that
It's fine.
Wayne just spin it around his head like a helicopter and then just did it again.
For the
That's
drama
a
of it all.
13.
That is a hit, just barely.
Oh, wait, I think it's like a D4 or something.
Bap him.
You did. You
Yeah.
bapped. Well, it's not necessarily a bap.
D4.
It's less of a bap.
Let's get this fat
Bap
D4
always say
damage in
it's a
here.
bat.
You bop up to him and then you bap him.
That's
That
the
is
wrong
the
one.
order
It's
of
not a 6.
operations.
You can't get a 6 on a D4.
That's true. It's not
I got a
possible.
3.
A
I stab
3.
him, poke him in the eye, and then I poke him in the other eye.
You do.
Nice.
You stab him in both eyes, but in true zombie fashion, he does not care.
Ah, you son of a gun. Get this boat
Yeah.
moving.
They really suck. Okay, yeah. So you tell Monahan to get this boat moving. So he's immediately gonna duck down below the driver's seat and start messing with stuff. He also kind of like reaches one hand back to fiddle with this whatever this like metal drum that sits in the center of the car that's sort of the source of all these blue motes that are emitting out. He's like got one hand laid on the side of that as well. But he will say back to you as you tell him to get this boat moving. Says, "Damn it, I'm a smuggler, not a mechanic." But he's gonna do his best. He's gonna see what he can do, which means that it is now Hunter's turn.
All right. So I think for Hunter, given that they have just experienced us being dead in the water, so to speak, I think it is time to summon Callisto. So I think that is going to be their action for this turn,
Let's go.
is to summon their good boy.
Callisto.
All right, let's bring out Callisto. Would you like to describe what this looks like.
So I think in this instance, it does look a bit different than when they have summoned him in the past, because usually they sort of help sort of rise him up from the earth and shape him, like with their hands touching the earth. In this case, they are not obviously going to jump off the boat to be able to do that. So instead, they turn to the side and lean over and just start to kind of coalesce the energy in their hands until Callisto is summoned right beside the boat. So right by the yellow zombies, I believe, since they would be the ones closest to them.
Thereabouts, perhaps?
That looks about right.
Okay.
And he takes his usual form.
Appearing... Right.
So,
yes. Appearing in the midst of this zombie fray is what appears to be a sort of greenish colored horse with long tendrils of roses and thorns emerging from its body. Callisto,
Love it.
your
We love
primal
Callisto.
companion.
My beautiful
Our
primal
bestest
companion.
buddy.
Your beautiful primal companion. And your precious thorn horse will be able to do something next round. You have a bonus action or move action that you want to take?
Not in this case. Nope. Just summoning my friend.
Callisto.
Actually, I lied. No, I am going to take an action. Hunter is actually going to jump onto Callisto.
Ooh, all right, big
Right.
moves.
Yeah.
Big moves.
Big moves.
All right.
Money moves.
Well, I think you should actually be able to move yourself over to Callisto, and because Callisto is a mount token,
Ooh.
you should just snap into place.
Snap to it.
We got
Let's-
that kind of
Mhm.
integration.
There we go.
Big
Yes,
money
we're very
moves.
high tech. Very high tech here, live from the apocalypse. Okay, you are riding upon your thorn horse. Sort of somehow, every single thorn, every single sort of vine, just slightly misses you. You make it look very effortless, but it's kind of miraculous that you are not impaled immediately. You are on your horse, and now we get into yellow.
Get out of here.
Now, most of these,
Go on.
I believe 3 has been turned, but I
3
believe
and
3 and 2 were turned.
Mhm. The only one
Okay.
that was not turned is the blue ones and yellow one. Because yellow one was outside of the
Got it.
range.
Range.
Otherwise, he would have also failed.
All
Should've
right.
pushed
Well,
that.
they flee.
Yeah.
But number 1, yellow one can still take an attack, a couple of attacks actually.
Goose.
Can
On
that
the
provoke
wagon.
Callisto? Is
It won't
Callisto
provoke.
provocable?
I mean, yes, but it won't provoke Callisto. Although, actually, now that the wagon has stopped, I think it is probably just going to try to attack. It's going to try to attack Hunter.
How dare you?
How dare.
Yeah. How very dare. So it is gonna swivel, and it is sort of like disregarding Callisto entirely, like she's not even there. Is gonna reach out and try to get its emaciated, gross hands onto Hunter. So here we go. That's probably a hit.
No.
23.
Yeah.
These dice are gonna kill us, and then we're gonna have to find 4 new teenagers in Ohio
Listen.
to trap here for 10 years.
At Amherst Dice, not sponsored. Not yet. Right. So you're gonna take 4 points of damage, 4 points of piercing damage.
Cool.
That is going to miss unless a 12 hits.
Nope.
All right. So yeah, one hit. I'm going to say that it sort of gets its bony claw-like hands into your into the side of your leg and just kind of like rake a bloody furrow down the side as it's trying to pull you down off of Callisto. But obviously, it does not succeed in this effort. Back to the top. We have come full circle. Back to Kelly.
Hey,
You are up.
I am in fact up.
Also, did you do your spiritual weapon last turn?
I did. It missed.
Okay.
We've technically, this is just one round we've gone through. So.
Fair. Yeah. Okay.
And a lot of people here.
All right.
Uh,
That's what missed. Yeah.
yeah, that's what missed, because... Yeah. Alrighty, then. So, what I'm gonna do is, since this blue number 1 is still here, and he is probably now going to try to climb up into this boat, I'm gonna stab him. And since Max went away, I don't think I get sneak attack, unless Monahan standing next to me counts, but I don't think he does.
No, it has
I
to be
wonder if
next
your
to
spiritual
you.
weapon counts though.
I
Mm.
don't know.
Because it has to
That
be
would
next to the
make-
creature, not next to you.
Right.
Right?
And that would
Right.
make sense to me because it is menacing the creature. So
It's hostile.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would think that would count. I'm gonna give
Let's
it to
go.
Alright, well, I have to hit first before it can matter, so let's see if I can
Yeah,
do
you. You
that.
sure do.
You got this.
Got it.
Do I?
Oh, this gentleman is untouched.
Yeah, he's been real difficult. I'm kind of tempted to use one of the advantages because he's been such a bastard.
I wouldn't call him a gentleman.
In fact, I think I will. I think I'll use one of the advantages in the pool to try to hit
Yeah,
this
do
bastard.
it.
Do it.
Certainly can.
He's...
Okay.
Okay,
So
so there's a
close.
19, which is going to be 24 to hit.
I mean, yeah, that hits.
Cool. So then that is going to be, I'll roll the regular damage first, and then I will roll the sneak attack damage. So with that, that is going to be... That's not what I want. That's what I want.
Ooh.
Nice.
You look confused.
She
Yeah.
rolled a 6 and got an 11.
That's what I'm confused about. Is that wrong for anyone else?
Roll 20
No,
picked
I
up the
can't see
dice
the
the wrong
numbers.
way.
Roll
Gotta turn it
roll
around.
20 roll 20 assigned my 6 to a 9 and gave me an 11.
Did you tell it to add 5? Because
No,
that's
it's
11.
adding only 2.
Not
Oh, well.
two.
It roll 20 says I rolled an 11 on a d6 plus
Magic.
I mean, it's probably like how earlier Corey rolled an 8 on a d4.
2, probably.
Yeah, it's weird
Or a
stuff
6.
out here tonight.
So if we'll just consider that, we'll turn it the right way up, so that's going to be max damage 8. And
Okay.
let it be weird all its own.
Max.
And now I will roll the regular sneak attack
2.
damage.
Max damage.
Miller damage, we call it in Ohio.
It's Miller time.
Which
Yeah.
it
Miller time.
now it said it rolled a 3 and an 8 for another 11.
What the heck
What
on?
is
You
happening?
just can't not get 11.
That's
Is it
a
the
3
exclamation
and a
points?
2.
But I'm not typing. I'm using the dice roller, like, actually itself.
That's probably just very dumb.
I think it's a 3 and a
I would
2.
just type it. It's probably not going to do it if you type it, but either way, it doesn't really matter because we can see right there. You rolled what, 2d6 or 3d6?
I rolled 1d6 and then I rolled another 2. So if it's not ignoring,
Okay.
if we ignore the 6, because I already counted that, so that's a 5 points of sneak attack damage, and
All
then And then the last thing I'm going to do, well, actually, second to last thing I'm going to do, because I hit with sneak attack damage, I can do 1 additional d6 of necrotic damage from Wails of the Grave, which I will do also to blue one. It's 5 more points of damage, and now I'm going to try to hit him with the spiritual weapon as my bonus action.
All right. Well, he is no longer untouched.
This is true.
Is your grave move not a bonus action?
That is it a, I think it's a reaction. Hold on, let me check, but you might be right. It says immediately after you, it's something that I can do up to 3 times for rest, and it doesn't say it's a bonus or any kind of thing. It just says immediately after you deal your sneak attack damage to a creature. Right. Yeah.
Well, then it kind of sounds like it's not an action, and you're fine. But
it does not say it
like
does not
divine
say
smite or a stunning strike.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's labeled as special.
Yeah. Do you know how many times you've only done it twice? This is your second time?
This is the second time I've done it, so I can do it one more time before I have a rest. And so the last thing I will now do is see if I can hit it with the spiritual weapon.
Well, he is no longer untouched. I will tell you that much.
That's the good thing.
Heck yeah. Whoa.
That was so dramatic.
That's a good journey.
Hit with the spiritual weapon. If that hits him, which I assume it does. So that's going to be 1d8 plus 2. 7 more points of damage.
Yeah, I really thought that was going to be the 8. 7 more points of damage. He has quickly gone from being uninjured to being the most injured.
The boat stopped moving, and Kelly just unleashed.
Instant regret on the part of all of these zombies.
As soon as we are no longer in motion, I am now a deadly animal.
Yes.
Nice. With the motion sickness.
Cool.
With the motion sickness.
With the motion sickness. So yeah, these boys. One is scared, so it cannot move any closer. It also already attacked. So 2 and 3 cannot get closer. So they can't really do anything at the moment. They are sort of cowering, like almost like an animal that like wants to move closer, but they keep sort of like shimmying back at the last second because they're very scared. But for blue, 1 and 4 are still free to do stuff. So they're each going to move. They're each going to climb up, use some move actions to climb up onto the car itself. And then 1 is going to lash out at Kelly, and 4 is going to lash out at Wayne. First one attacking Kelly, pretty sure 10 misses. But I'm pretty sure 20 hits.
No.
It sure does.
So you're going to take 4 points of damage.
Okay, well, when it does that to me, one of my reactions, Wrath of the Storm, when a creature within 5 feet that you can see hits you with an attack, I can use my reaction to cause the creature to make a dex saving throw, or it's going to take 2d8 of lightning damage.
Can you take a reaction if you've already taken a bonus action?
I do not know how that works.
Yes,
reactions
you
are
can?
different.
Okay.
It specifies that it is a reaction. It gets a dex save.
Bonus actions are part of your turn. Reactions are like outside of your turn.
It gets a dex save for half.
Thank you.
Is it? I thought I
One
remember
reaction.
reading something. Is it where if you take a reaction, you can't take a bonus action on your turn, or are they just completely different? Okay, they're just completely different.
You can
That's-
just take one reaction per round.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense.
Once you do it once, you can't do it again.
Dexterity saving throw incoming. An 8.
Yes.
That's a failure.
I assume.
So it's going to swipe at me, and then I'm going to Kelly's gonna make a little yelp, and then that purple electricity static is going to flicker out again and electrocute it for
Shut up, Justin.
how
Get out of my stream.
Do you want me to ban him?
Yeah,
don't
please.
do that.
Don't actually do that.
12 more points of damage. It gets
All right.
Nice.
Lightning
Nice.
damage.
Lightning, right?
Yes. I can
Yeah.
choose lightning or
Right.
thunder. I am choosing lightning in this moment.
Your eyes like flash purple for a second, and then
Yep.
this just lightning arcs off of you. All right.
Kelly's got
He,
big do not touch me energy.
Yeah, he just cannot learn his his lesson.
Zap zap.
Which makes sense because he doesn't super have the capacity to think. And then 2 attacks on Wayne. As this one tries to get up on you.
Yeah, I'd
15.
like to see you try. Yeah, no thanks. Get out of here.
Yeah, no
Okay.
thanks.
No.
And then 20.
That hits. You tried. You succeeded.
Good
I
job,
missed
dude.
the
You
first
did it.
time. Who could have expected it would keep trying
No.
and not just give up? 4 points of damage to you.
No.
I'm gonna say that you're sort of fending it off with the Gritsky stick, but again, sort of similar to Hunter, it manages to sort of hook its sharp fingers into your into like under one of your armor plates and just kind of rips into you a little bit.
Gross.
Please don't bite me. Please don't bite me. Please don't bite me.
A valid concern that has in no way been addressed in this world. So
What?
And I saw Dawn of the Dead. I know what happens.
probably did.
I did.
Okay, cool. So that is this blue fellows. The other two are cowering and unable to do anything, which means it's Miller time.
It's Miller time, baby. Okay, Max is going to run up, stand in between Kelly, Wayne, the one who is useless, Eddie, between the two zombos, takes out a great axe, smashes number B1, and then in the same turn, smashes number B2, B4 with tail. So great attack, great axe, and tail, and I'm attacking recklessly both times. So that's with advantage. I forgot to attack recklessly last time, which was stupid on it.
Would you like to attack recklessly?
Yes, I want to attack recklessly both times. So my first attack is with the great sword to B1. This is the first, this is second. So does a 20 hit?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Okay. And then rolled a 1. Oh my god.
Awesome.
So I am for 7 damage.
All right.
So I smash my great axe into this dude. And I swing my tail at the one in front of Wayne. And as I'm doing so, I'm just yelling, "My friends are not your snacks!" Anyway, this is my second attack. Yes. Oh, oops! I rolled the wrong thing.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It's still a 22.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yes.
you hit.
Yes. And do you want me to re-roll the D12? It's still a D12 plus 6.
Oh, if it's the same thing, then no, just leave it. You rolled a 6. I'm
Okay,
pretty
6
sure.
then. I rolled a 6. I didn't want to re-roll.
So
and I
you
rolled
did.
that's
You did.
7 damage on B1, 12 damage on B4.
4. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You smash into B4 with your tail, and you sort of like knock it back a little bit down the side of the car, but it kind
Yes.
of manages to just sort of shimmy its way back up.
It doesn't though because of my crusher feet. I actually knock it 5 feet back.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, that is totally
Yeah.
fine. very
And I want to
atmospheric
just
and
like,
appropriate.
yeah, I want to after I hit it with its tail and I feel it kind of like animate and kind of push. I just want to like turn. I want to turn to Eddie, like look under the thing under the car and be like, "What is going on? Let's go!" And I'm like, my
Okay,
bonus
he is.
action. I'm ready to go.
Max, he's working.
Yeah, he is gonna take a
Work
free
faster!
speech. He's gonna take a free action to like duck his head back out and look up at you and say, "I'm moving as fast as I can. Get out of my face." So you pull with your axe, the first one that you hit, number
Mhm.
B1 over there.
Mhm.
I think you brought it down on it with tremendous force. You kind of took its arm off, its right arm off
Nice.
at the shoulder. It does not appear to be particularly phased by this. Unfortunately, the force of your swing means that you sort of buried your axe in the side of the metal of the car. You can wrench it out, no problem. But
Okay.
number one is still coming at you. And there are no red boys left who have not fled, which means that it is Edward's turn.
Eddie.
Our
Eddie.
friend.
Eddie.
Eddie,
Is that what you wrote down in your notes?
Eddie M. Eddie.
Edim.
Eddie.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, all right. We're gonna call it that, and we'll see how he does. 3. Okay. Okay. He whatever he is doing under there, you can kind of hear like the sounds of metal scraping and things rattling around. The light, the blue motes of light that have kind of been dimming as you've been standing here carrying on this fight start to intensify again. And you can sort of feel this slight, almost electrical current running through the air that you felt the entire time the car was sort of flying across Barrow. You can sort of feel it start to ramp up again around you. You feel the hairs on your arms stand on end. It's not running again, but he is whatever he's doing seems to be working. And then Wayne, it is your turn.
Oh, heck yeah. So I'm going to take 2 swings on this guy in front of me, number 4.
You do have reach, so go for it.
I'm taking, whoops. I'm taking swing number 1. Here we go. Nat 20. Yeet.
Yeet.
That's a 23.
It's not a nat 20, but it does hit.
Not a nat 20, but it does hit. All right. That's 10 plus 4. That's 8 damage. And then
Nice.
I'm going to take a second one. And I got a 21. And I got
21 hits. Yep.
Oh, that's a nat 20. That's the wrong one. I got a 12 on a d10. All right. And
You were
I
just
got
rolling
a
so well tonight.
4 plus 4. I got 8 damage. So I think this time I'm just kind of digging deeper into his eye sockets. I'm just like, why won't you die? And then bonus action, spiritual weapon on the yellow guy over there. Winchester rifle does the thing where it like flips around and then it reloads and then it shoots again. I can't remember what damage a spiritual weapon does. It's
I believe it's 1d8.
It's 1d8. 1d8. I rolled a 25. No, 1d8. I rolled 1. Oh wait,
Okay.
I gotta attack. I gotta try and hit first. Oops.
Oh.
I may have
You
rolled.
probably will.
Yeah, I hit him. Probably. I got a 1.
Okay.
Magic bullet.
1 point of. I think it does +2, doesn't it? Though, like it's.
It should. There should be a plus to yours. Mine is
Yes.
+2. Yours should be similar.
Yeah, then it's
One-
+2.
Yeah. Okay.
3.
Cool. All right.
So
3 points of damage.
Ooh.
To yellow 1. Or no, sorry, to blue 4. 3 points of damage. Yeah, you like get your oh no, sorry, that one was yellow one.
Yellow
You
one.
Yeah,
stabbed
spiritual weapon
the
was.
yeah. Yep, sorry, that was your spiritual weapon. 3 points of damage. Good shot. Yeah, the one you have, but like with your Gritsky stick, the pointy end of your Gritsky stick buried in its eye socket, it's still sort of trying to like claw up your stick. Like it seems like it's just gonna force the spiky end out the back of its skull to just keep getting at you. And it's just got its mouth open and it's doing this silent sort of like zombie inhale, like as it's coming at you.
Nope.
Wayne, and now it is Hunter and Callisto.
So I think what happens first is that Callisto just kind of spins and tramples Yellow, since he's right up on there.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna roll for that first, and we're gonna see how that goes.
Sounds good.
That is not going to happen because that was a 9.
No.
Ugh,
Sad but true.
Callisto.
Sad but true.
Would
So
Callisto like to pull from the advantage pool?
is Callisto allowed to do that after the roll? Because I'll take it
Not
if he
after
is.
the roll, unfortunately.
Alas, no.
Alas.
Next time, perhaps. So yes, Callisto kind of goes to do that, but perhaps because Hunter's a little bit shook from having a zombie claw them, that leads Callisto to not quite connect. But he does keep moving forward, putting him, we're gonna say, right around there.
All right.
At which point Hunter is going to take shots at both yellow and blue.
All right. Roll for attacking yellow one.
All right, so that is a
That is
19.
gonna hit. Yep.
All right, awesome. So that is 1d8 plus 5.
Oh.
Nice.
So that is 13 on yellow.
13.
13 damage.
Um.
Get him.
It's Miller time.
So
It's Callisto time.
Alas, Hunter does not hit the other one, does not hit blue. Since
Sad
that
but
was like a
true.
10.
Yeah, a 10 will unfortunately miss. If it was a little higher than a 10, you might have hit, but 10's gonna miss.
Alas.
Alas, well, what happens with yellow? You did 13 points of damage?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You did 13 points of damage, so you shoot it, and I'm gonna say you actually you shoot it through, your arrow travels through one of its eye sockets and out the back of its head, pinning it and then into the side of this like vent thing that's on the back of the wagon that was sort of exuding that blue fire almost. Your arrow sort of pins this thing by the head to the side of that. It is still moving, but it is in very, very, very bad shape. You know, if you were to apply some sort of numerical value to how healthy it is, you could probably assume that it has like one of those values left. And if that is your turn, well, it's actually going to be his turn.
He dies.
He can't move any closer to Wayne, but what he can do is wrench himself off of the side of the wagon, leaving the arrow behind, and sort of just stumble right on over to you. and take
Rude.
an attack.
Lateral moves there.
Kick him.
Yeah. And I believe actually both of those are gonna hit.
Is staggered not a
Fortunate.
thing?
God, come on.
21 and a 23. Staggered is not a thing.
Damn.
He's not down until he's down. All right, you were gonna take 8 points of damage.
Cool.
Ouch.
Yeah, he manages to get a good hold on you this time, and he almost manages to pull you down, like unsaddle you off of Callisto's back, but
How dare.
not
How
quite.
dare.
How dare. This is easily the rudest zombie you've ever encountered.
What a bitch.
Such a bitch.
He is the only one still holding it down for yellow gang. So back to the top of the round with Kelly.
All right. Blue one has climbed up onto this ledge. Gonna try
Actively trying to eat you.
I hate that. No sense of camaraderie, which technically is preferable. Given everything else. So I'm going to try to stab him again.
Stab him.
Stab him.
I'm there now.
Don't think I do with an 11.
Not
I don't know.
quite.
Yeah, I know 13 does. I don't.
Yeah.
So, in that case, bonus action to
Your
have
cursed
him-
multi-classedness preventing you from taking 2 attacks.
Ooh.
I don't think I would have been able to take 2 attacks if I was a rogue anyway. Just straight
Oh
rogue.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Rogues
Do they
don't
not get that?
Rogues don't get 2 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you do Ranger Rogue multi-class.
Paladin rogue?
Paladin Rogue.
I don't even know.
Barbarian rogue?
Monk
Do clerics
Rogue.
even
Reckless
get
and always
multi-
dead?
Artificer Rogue. Other class rogues.
Wizard rogue?
18 with the spiritual weapon.
Nice.
That hits.
So I miss with the sword, smack it with the spiritual weapon for
Rogues get an offhand bonus action attack if they attack with a one-handed weapon. That sounds like it
Mhm.
could be real.
It
I
is.
think every
5
class
more
gets that.
points of damage.
Maybe not every class. A lot of classes get that.
That is yeah, but that's the only thing that rogues get if they want to attack twice, and it's
Ah.
not sneak attack.
Ah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
it's
Because
just
you
about
are sneak
space.
attacking. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like so.
All
those are-
right.
So yeah,
How much
I
for your
always have
spiritual weapon?
5 points of force damage. So I miss, but then the electricity marble winds up and clocks him in the back of his little zombie head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his the eye, one of the eyes just fully flies off, just kind of dangling there by the retina.
Ew.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Yeah, it's pretty
That
Right.
means-
Then that means that it's our buddy's turn. It's our buddy's turns. The blue crew coming at you.
The blue man group.
He's gonna try to eat you. He's gonna continue trying to eat you.
He may
He really, really wants to.
he may do that if he so
hungry.
desires.
He's
hungry.
he's really been thinking about it all day. Does a 12 hit?
No,
Nice.
Does a 13 hit?
no.
Nice.
All right, he does not eat you. Congratulations.
His depth perception
Um,
is off with the loss of that eye.
It's true. Blue 4 is going to similar to yellow 1, just fully haul himself up the Gritsky stick. So it's just sort of embedded and poking out the back of his head. And he is going to once again just sort of leap onto the front of the wagon and try to attack you, Wayne. Try to eat you as well. So,
Damn.
what have we learned here today? We've learned that they're not just interested in eating Kelly.
Should have wrapped my wrists. You gotta have some magazines around your
Interested. They're interested in what the holy flesh tastes like. Apparently.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
On 11 misses, I'm pretty confident. Does a 16 hit?
No. Bites out
Nice.
of my sweet jersey. Too strong. Breaks his teeth.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh no, he breaks his teeth
Right.
on a bit of the armor, and then he tries to bite me on the second one, and he just gums the front of my jersey.
He's just gums. He's just all gums.
Mm.
Gross.
Feel bad for him, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know
No.
about
I feel
that.
bad for him for lots of reasons, but
Yeah.
You're about to feel even worse for him. It's Miller time, baby.
It's Miller time.
It's Miller
is Miller
time.
time.
It is.
Okay. We're gonna go ahead and do it all over again. And I'm gonna swing my great axe once again down onto B1 and say, what did I say? Stop eating my friends, you gross. Anyway,
Technically, he hasn't.
stop trying. It's gross. You pervert. Reckless attack.
Ooh.
24.
Nice.
Yeah, that hits.
And great axe. Oh, yes, baby. That's a 16.
You obliterate this zombie. What does it look like?
Absolutely.
Nice.
Okay. So I am going to. I need to look at it. Okay. So as I swing down my great axe, oh, it was stuck to the side, right? Wait, can I just like rip it up? Do I have to roll for
You can
that?
do whatever. You can do anything you want.
Perfect. So I want to like grab it. Actually, you know what? Fuck that. I can jump really freaking high and far now because of my beast mode ability. So I want to just like jump up in the air and be like, stop trying to eat my friends, and then stomp on the handle and like smack the edge of it like through its head, and knock it off.
Alright.
And then like it goes spinning, and I grab it, and then I turn around and tail whip the other one.
Okay.
Anyway.
So you send it. Stop it.
Stop.
Not yet. You're fine. There it was.
Yeah, I know. I'm also recklessly attacking B4. Oops, wrong tab. Here we go. Reckless attack. That's a nat 20.
Get him,
Nice.
get him, get him.
Get him.
Mess him
That
up.
sure is a natural 20.
That's
So roll double damage.
Done and done.
First roll is a 10. Second roll is a 10. So that's 20. And oh my god, I have never rolled a natural 20 using my crusher feat.
What do you do?
Is it dead though?
I mean, maybe. What does your crusher feet do?
It's not that exciting. It just it's kind of
Come on, sell me on it
Yeah,
there,
come on,
Miller
let's
time.
go.
Let's go.
I smack his head. I smack his body. He's all grossed out. I grab the stick. I walk up to Wayne. I slam the great axe onto the floor. I walk up to Wayne behind him like I'm showing him how to golf, and I say, "You got advantage on this, buddy."
Sweet.
And every attack has advantage on it if he's not dead.
Thanks there,
Give him
bud.
one hit.
Oh, he is dead. But that was still
he's
really
dead.
cool.
Oh.
I'm glad you described it.
Come on, give him a hit point.
Give him 1 hit point.
Just one.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, he had 21 hit points. No, but he is dead though.
Yeah, okay.
I tell you, he did.
And you know what?
I'll tell you he did.
You know what? I'll grab a chunk off of them and be like, "How do you like it?"
Do
and,
not
like-
eat
And then
that.
do you eat it?
Next turn.
My turn
I
is
just, like,
first.
scar- Ah!
I go before you. I'm gonna put a stop to that immediately.
Good. No. We'll see what happens.
I'm dumb and absolutely still raging, so I'm just like
Hungry.
pissed.
You're in beast
I
mode.
have
hungry.
a Zomburger right here in my hand, ready to go. I'm about to.
That puts us back at Eddie. And so he pops
Come
up
on, Eddie.
from where he is under the seat, and he looks around, takes stock of the situation, and is gonna focus, I think, on is gonna focus in. So he looks around, taking stock of the situation, and he sees that really there's really only the one that's menacing Hunter at the moment. And so with his non-ghostly hand, he is once again going to pull the caster out of his side holster and point it directly at directly at that scuffle that's happening over there. And I think he is going to use all of the remaining bolts just to be safe.
Just unload it.
Yeah.
He's just gonna fully unload it. Yeah. So
Hell yeah.
so yeah, four blasts of light shoot out of the end of it and arc to meet where that last zombie is trying to eat Hunter. So we're gonna do 6, 9. Rolled 4 3s. Yep. Okay, cool. That is 16 points of damage, which I am pretty sure, yes. My dude had 1 hit point left. And he is filled full of holes. And just kind of drops to the ground.
We love
to see it. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
we
love to see
do.
it. So technically, there are other zombies around you that you can still see, but they are either actively running away or just sort of cowering from the sheer confidence that Wayne exudes.
No surprise. Not the first.
Not the first. And
The first, not the
after
last.
after dropping that one, Eddie looks at you, Hunter, and says, "What? You just make a horse? Look, we're ready to go. Get back in."
And Hunter just hops down onto the boat. The meat ship, whatever it's called. Sure.
The wagon.
Meat wagon.
Yeah.
Meat wagon.
A meat wagon.
Meat wagon.
And then dispels Callisto.
Oh, you really did make a horse. All right, let's go.
Horse. That's good.
Horse. Very good.
Horse.
With a rumble, the
Right
wagon
back.
starts moving again, and you leave these zombies in your dust. They do keep up for a little while, but because they can only get so close before the fear overtakes their sort of animal brains, they drop off as you start to accelerate and gain speed. The wagon has definitely seen better days, and as you resume sort of flying across the landscape, and Monahan resumes very adeptly maneuvering you past obstacles in the pitch blackness. He shakes his head and says, well, I'm officially not getting paid enough for this, but we all made it out in one piece.
Speaking of. No, just kidding.
No! Kelly will like launch herself at the hunk of meat. She just like latches onto your arm and is like, let go.
I think.
And then Wayne just like when
there's-
you have like a tray full of food, like a lunch tray, and just bats it right out of your hand.
I'm just like. I think as soon as you do, like the rage just kind of drops. I'm like, ugh.
I'm just like holding on by like the bicep, just like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And
As your
Hunter's
wife
just
just
watching.
lift her up
Yeah.
in the air.
Hunter's just like, you were gonna eat that? Why would you do that?
Taste of their own medicine.
That's
Yep.
one way
Gotta
to
show
prove
them you're
a
not
point.
afraid.
It's like when you bite a dog's ear, so you show that you're the dominant one in
Why
the pack.
would you do that?
To show that you're the dominant one in the pack. 'Cause
No.
they'll
Both
Both
bite
of you get in
you
the
bite
back.
them
Get
back.
in the back of the wagon.
It's like when someone tries to swirly you, you swirly them harder and in a
Yup.
urinal
Full of pee.
full of pee, fresh pee,
Your pee.
their pee.
Their pee. We as we're saying this, we're
Their pee.
climbing into the back of the car.
Their pee.
Just
The
like,
divider window starts to go up.
it's like
a
Hunter, do you
urinal
want to sit
full
up
of
front with
therapy.
us?
Hunter is definitely like moving to Kelly.
I'm gonna sit up front with Eddie.
As he is steering, you notice that he is still only steering with his left arm.
Mm.
And as he does so, the sort of smoky, ghostly limb that you've seen him use in that altercation, kind of just sort of like almost evaporates or disappears. And he, when you sort of look back after scolding Max, you see he's once again sort of pinning up the sleeve of his coat on the right side.
So
So what's
sorry
that all
your
about?
wagon. Both of those things.
So the divider's up, so you know you can't hear it. No, yeah, you can ask him about that. It is like very cramped. There is not necessarily like a back of the wagon. You're kind of just like legs dangling into that well where the drum is.
Oh, nice.
And you're sitting back by the exhaust, which is very loud. But he sort of like nods back over his shoulder in acknowledgement, and says, I'm sure we all got secrets we'd rather not be revealing to each other.
As long as those secrets won't come out and bite us in the ass.
Didn't you just sort of turn into some sort of bestial half-man creature and try
and
to eat
save
a zombie?
your life.
Max,
I
I don't
mean,
know if we can
I'm
use
not
the
ungrateful.
Max, I don't know if we can use the saved your life excuse when we asked him to come pick us up, knowing that we would have to fight a bunch of zombies. I don't think that counts.
I mean,
He's
most
still
of the
alive, though.
ones.
Could be dead.
Could be
Just
dead.
saying.
Could be. I'm grateful we're not, but could be.
Well.
Are we there yet?
We're getting there fast, but suppose you folks, you're not from around here, so only fair I let you know now on the topic of life or death. Once we get to Central Slum, you may hear folk refer to me by a different name. Ain't no cause for alarm, but if you hear them talk about Dead Eddie, that'd be me. And let's take a break, shall we?
Oh, early
Ooh.
break.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
This
take
is
a little bit of a break. Feels appropriate. Feels dramatically appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are driving very, very quickly, making your way, covering a lot of ground. Occasionally you do see some movement off in the shadows, cast by the wagon, but you are not swarmed the way that you were before your unexpected stop. So we're gonna disappear for like 10-ish minutes probably. And yeah, and just stick around. We'll be back as soon as we can. We'll continue playing the game. We'll get to Central Slum, where things will get very interesting and exciting. I promise. Yeah.
Dead Eddie.
Dead Eddie. Let's take 10. Meet back here. Don't go away. Thanks for sticking around. See you soon. You know that.
Hello.
You know that beloved psychological thriller When Good Things Come.
Based on a true
Oh.
story.
Wow, did we go live? Who hit the
Yep.
button?
Oh
Who did
no.
that? How dare?
Who did
All
that?
good things. Welcome
All
back,
good things.
everyone.
Okay, I wasn't that off.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah. For those if you're missing context, what has happened to this? That's
Why are
Oh,
we being
cool.
cut off with that little bar?
because my it's a long story, but my laptop disconnected. It's my third monitor,
Oh.
Oh no.
and it
Oh,
disconnected,
no.
which means that everything popped over. It's fine. It's gonna
Oh.
fix itself. There we go. We'll be back
Well,
in business.
Welcome, Raiders.
That is weird.
Hello.
Anyway, for context, Raf's mom was watching a psychological thriller, and we were trying to figure out what it was. And it turns out
Wait till the end. If you stay all the way to the end of the stream, you'll find out.
that's
Sorry.
true. I'll tell you.
Yep.
Every donation is 1 extra minute earlier. Than
Yeah.
you'll find out.
Oh
You can
man,
get a lot
you
of
are
things done with extra
unhappy.
donations.
Yeah, the stream link is the nothing.
very sad.
It's because we're in
Um,
Barrow.
Probably.
Yeah,
that's
Technology,
true.
magic, it's all.
Gremlins,
It's
you
in
know how it is.
Barrow. Mercury's in retrograde. It's just been
Is
that
it?
kind of week, and it's only Tuesday.
Today's my Friday, so I'm like,
It's a short week. Thursday's my Friday.
nice.
So it's like it's Wednesday. So it's almost like it's Friday.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Honestly,
Alright.
Wednesdays, pretty good days.
Thursday's my
bad.
Did
Friday,
it.
but only because there's a funeral.
Welcome back to Ass Reunion. Yeah. So you were driving across. Oh, really makes you think. It's always Wednesday somewhere. Deep thoughts.
Anyway.
You were driving across Barrow.
Mhm.
Eddie Monahan at the helm of your meat ship.
Meat wagon.
And you see the lights from Central Slum long before you see the slum itself. There are up until this point, you have been the only light source that you have seen down here. Ever since emerging out of the gap, the underground crevice that you used to enter the necropolis, it's been pitch black. And aside from a general sense of vastness, you have had no indicator or notion of exactly how open this space is.
Mm.
But you see the lights, and as you draw closer, they intensify in brightness. And after maybe an hour's more journey, Eddie will actually sort of call back to you all over the sound, the roar of the of this engine. He'll say, "Yeah, don't let that fool you. Still got about an hour to go. You see the lights for miles." And true enough, about an hour later, you start to make out the shapes of the buildings of the slums. He doesn't drive the wagon directly into the slums. He stops pretty like good ways out. You can sort of see in the distance the shapes of the slum itself, the rough outline as it's giving off these lights that you can now see. You can now see shades of blue and green, yellow and red, and more. It almost reminds you, all of you, of like neon, which is not something you have seen in about 10 years. But Eddie pulls over next to this sort of hulking shape that you don't see at first. You sort of start when you notice, but it quickly becomes apparent to you that it's just a stalagmite. It's just an enormous one that you couldn't put your arms around it if you tried. Not even Max.
I was going to say, not even Max.
Not even Max, and you know this because I'm sure he tries.
Yeah.
You're like right there. You're right there. One's on the other side. You're right there. A little more. He's like this far.
It does not happen. It is absolutely large enough to sort of cast a shadow. And that's where he leaves the wagon. And he sort of hauls a bag out of the sort of stashed under the front seats, sort of slings it over his shoulder and says, "Well, we're walking the rest of the way."
It's not a problem. Not a problem at all.
How's everybody looking?
I look great.
I only took the 4 points. Could we have said that the rest of the drive would have counted as a short rest if we wanted to heal?
Oh, easily. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
If you'd like to spend hit dice, you are more than welcome to. And also, you can reset some things.
I have no hit dice left.
Yeah, I was going to say neither does Hunter,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate because Hunter is looking a little rough.
I thought so.
Hunter, you're not looking so good, guy. You need some health. And I tap you on the shoulder for, I don't know, 10 hit points.
Nice.
Oh my
That makes
God.
my hit points happier.
Yeah, you start to feel a little, you start to feel better. It's interesting. Something about Wayne in this place, almost makes him seem like,
That's me.
that is you. Almost makes him seem like more than he is. Maybe it's just sort of, the context of all this like darkness, but like you've maybe never noticed exactly how like you maybe never noticed exactly how bright his armor shines, or like his teeth, for example, when he smiles, or like how warm his laugh is, or anything like that. Just something about this place seems to sort of be bringing out the best in him. But yes, you were feeling a little bit better after he heals you a tiny bit, and Monahan starts trekking on foot towards the lights, and presumably you follow.
Yep.
Let's get to it.
Hunter is going to take a moment to catch up with Max and just say, "Hey, I didn't thank you earlier, but I mean, you saved my life."
I didn't do anything. It's fine.
I mean, you did. You jumped off a mountain.
Oh, that.
I'm just glad you're here.
I wouldn't be without you. Thanks, Max.
Yup.
Oh man, the Max Ryan shippers are crying.
Real quick question, DM.
Yeah.
What's the terrain like? Are we talking tall stalactites?
You got it. Nope. The other one.
They're
Mhm.
called stalactites because they hang tight to the ceiling.
Oh.
And they're called stalagmites because you might trip over them.
Oh.
And
Okay.
the M is like that,
Mighty.
so they stick
Yeah,
out
that's
of
also
the
true.
ground. And the T
Oh,
is like
gotcha.
that, so it sticks out of it.
Whatever,
I made the
man.
might. I made the you might trip over them part up because like they might fall on you. That could.
Oh. Yeah. So what is it? Is it like very tall? Is it like a very?
It's actually just sort of for the most part it's very flat.
Oh.
And it feels like just packed earth under your feet. Like maybe, it doesn't feel like it was created that way. But if you had to guess, you'd guess that like anything living probably dies here. Like plants or things like that. So while it just sort of feels like the rest of the terrain of the north that you've experienced so far, there's just nothing growing. It's devoid of any sort of vegetation or any indications of life whatsoever. But that being said, there are plenty of giant and smaller stalagmites around you. There are some rocky outcroppings as well. It's not perfectly flat by any means, but it's definitely, you don't get the impression that you're like going up an elevation or down or anything like that as you're traveling.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
So do we
Make a
think we
note.
should maybe like disguise ourselves, or is there some way that
Oh.
we could best sneak in here? Because I feel like we're
Well,
maybe gonna stand
That's
out.
a good point.
the slum part is people who have kind of gotten away from the upper part of the city where the building is. You don't want to try to stand out ever in this place, but for the most part, what's going to be in the Central Slum are people, not the undead.
Gotcha.
Or variations of people. And I'll kind of like side eye Eddie just a little bit, but
Yeah, should we have like our own names? Like you're Dead Eddie? Should we be like
that's. I don't think he likes that, Max.
Dead Max? Dead
Pretty cool.
max damage.
right? Max damage. Dead
Max,
on sight.
Max, do you remember when we were talking to the about the doctor who we will no longer ever name because we've destroyed all of his life's work and relegate him to obscurity? And I explained about grafted and how they are treated with a level of suspicion and prejudice because you don't know if they were willingly or forcibly made that way.
Right.
Calling yourself Dead Max would be to imply that you're grafted. It would not be
But I'm not.
beneficial for us for you to do that.
Alive Max then. Got it.
Call me definitely living, Max.
Living.
Just
Thriving.
Max, just Max will probably do enough. But to be honest, the better thing to do would be to just not introduce yourself at all, unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah, your friends got the right of it there. It's not exactly a
Not at all, Max.
not exactly a fond nickname that carry in these parts.
Do you know as Gritsky made its way down here?
What is that?
Okay, so I was just worried I might be recognized, so everything should be good.
Never heard of no grits key.
First
or
of all, you're
nothing
missing
like that.
out. In our situation right now, it's probably a good thing, but we'll definitely talk later because you're gonna want to know more about it.
You're gonna want to get in on this.
Sure. Take your word for it. Your friends got the right of it, though. You generally want to try fly under the radar. not draw much attention to yourselves if it's avoidable. A lot of folks down here fighting for their lives. It makes them desperate. They do stupid, desperate things. So you're gonna want to keep a close eye on your valuables. You're gonna want to avoid anyone making eyes like they might want to pick a fight with you. Most importantly, though, anything you got that is obviously of a magical nature, you're going to want to stow it. The duality of Barrow is that you'd be hard pressed. You'd be hard pressed to find a place more saturated with magical weapons and conveniences and objects than Central Slum. I assume in the whole kingdom, but certainly in Barrow. But it's illegal for pulsers to own any of it. Also, you may hear the term pulsers thrown around. That just means you're living. Anyone with a pulse.
So, a pulsar with a magical item, would that be considered potentially valuable if you were selling it to another one? Another pulsar?
Nah, I think you're misunderstanding the nature of what I'm saying. Everybody down here has magic.
Oh.
But if the dead sweep through, you're going to want to be hiding it. Now it's unlikely we'd be unlucky enough that there'd be a sweep while you're here. You folks generally pretty lucky?
Yeah, super lucky.
Kelly's just thinking about the last time she was here and the fact that there was, in fact, a sweep. To be fair, she'd been there for 4 months before the sweep, but there was still. Yep. She's just like Kill Bill sirens, like off in the distance.
If there is one, we'll know because they'll be coming in wagons, much like the one we rode here on.
Well, I think for the most part we're good, right? Other than, Hunter's bow, I don't think anything else we've got is magic.
I have a caster.
Oh yeah, stick that in your waistband. But don't shoot your balls off.
Nah.
It's all full circle.
Not sponsored.
Yeah. Yeah, I am wearing like kind of like a half cape and I have my shield, so I'll put the caster like
between the shield and your back.
Like in the back of my pants, like I used to watch a lot of like Cop and like.
Yeah, of course you did.
You're like holding the gun between your butt cheeks.
To revisit last session, you're dummy thick.
You are dummy thick.
You're dummy thick.
It'll stop them from clapping together and giving us away. So
if you have to sneak around, yeah, absolutely.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing we gotta worry about really is your bow, right? We should wrap that or something.
Yeah, and I feel like Hunter's pretty used to just using their like cloak to cover up their bow.
For sure.
Also, my cloak is magical.
Oh shoot!
The whole thing?
Yes.
The whole cloak?
Put it in your backpack.
Turn it inside out.
Inside out.
That's true.
Yes. Oh.
Okay. Put it in your bag. For
Yeah,
now.
you can just tuck it in your bag. Um,
Yeah. Okay. My AC's getting
it's even if you were to be carrying magic, I mean, they'd probably only make trouble for you if they had a reason to, if there was something that they wanted, or if you drew attention to yourself.
Mm,
Best thing you can do around these parts is go unnoticed.
mm.
When they come through, they're here for the dead, the corpses. Usually leave
they-
without picking a fight.
Mm. Do they see magic? Can they sense it?
Not naturally, but
Okay. So I can keep the cloak, is what you're saying.
well, I mean,
That's a risk.
they'll
That's
have
a risk you're gonna take because they're
Yeah,
probably coming in with at least one of them looking.
If you need someone to protect you, Max, I'll be there for you. If you're
I
worried
Max,
don't-
if
about
you're
getting
worried,
hit,
Is it
I
actually a
protect
cape or is it
myself.
like his first blanket from when he joined the?
Your baby blanket you saw him since birth.
don't you worry. We won't make. You're not
No.
gonna lose your banky.
Forget it.
it's like your baby blanket, but
Justin.
Alistair gave it to you when you were 18. When you first showed up.
Swaddled you in it.
Like, look at this large, confused teenager.
Yeah.
This is the biggest baby I've ever seen.
Yeah, I take it off and I put it in my bag.
Okay.
Um,
All right. Absolutely. So you're as you're walking, Monahan is going to sort of fall into step beside Kelly and say, safe to say, I've got questions about you, and I imagine you've got questions about me.
So,
I think we both recognize similarities. He would be saying this fairly quietly, not actively trying to hide it from the rest of you, but quietly enough that you definitely have to be intentionally eavesdropping to hear.
not.
Kelly will kind of like nod to that and she'll be like, I think it's probably pretty clear that this is not my first time dealing with this environment.
You know, it's funny. I've gotten people out before, not many, but a few. Never seen anybody come back though.
Yeah, I've been told on many occasions coming in the first time was not wise. It's been made pretty clear to me that coming in the second time is even stupider. But not really been given much choice regarding that. Some things have to be done.
It's not much in the nature of any smuggler or any slum dweller to ask questions or offer help. People around these parts mostly keep their heads down, mind their own business, look after their own affairs. It's just safer that way, unless they're paid to do otherwise. But I mean, y'all are different, and it's written all over your faces. So you're gonna have to watch that, first of all. But second of all, I was only paid to get you here. means our contract is almost at its conclusion. Not entirely sure what business brings you here, but if you need a guide or anything like that, at the very least, we could talk business.
We could talk to see if you've heard any news first, and then maybe move on to business.
What kind of news?
We're here because we think that the undead took someone from the outside and brought him in. Someone they would have some kind of an interest in with some of their little experiments. If you've heard any kind of a buzz as to something they're excited about, or something, alternatively, something they're scared about. Because there was an incident that happened just a couple miles outside of their gates that seemed to have them pretty riled as well.
He'll start talking a little bit louder now, like, including the rest of you more in the conversation. I'll say, I'll be honest with you, most of what the dead do is a mystery to pulsers like us, unless they're coming through on sweeps or pulling people randomly for God knows what. Whatever they do outside of Barrow or in the upper levels, beyond us.
They don't happen to do any business with other people, right?
They do business with the whole kingdom. They
I mean,
sell
outside the kingdom.
Like what are we talking?
I'm so sorry. Did I not? You heard. I just take out my gray axe. I'm like,
put that back.
is there something wrong?
Do we have to kill him now?
Do I have to kill him? Seems like a good guy.
He laughs a little bit and kind of shakes his head and says, "That's a word I have not heard since I was a child." That's interesting.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh
That's roll
no.
20.
Yeah.
Roll20's yelling at us?
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah, I think I can
Roll
probably
20?
just refresh it. Oh, but it's gonna. Yeah. Okay. Well, sorry everybody that you're seeing this happen. Wish there was another way.
Roll20, you absolute heathen.
See if it actually connects or if it's just gonna
Blind.
do this. Technical difficulties in our streams, it's more likely than you think. I don't know what is happening unless Roll20 is just down. I mean, I'm just gonna hide it. That's silly.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're killing.
Did you all get kicked out?
Yeah,
Yes.
Of roll 20?
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
I did. I did.
Now it's back.
Yeah, it looks like it's connecting now. That's
Anyway.
fine. Yes. He
I recklessly attacked.
you recklessly attack him. He's dead. Dead Eddie.
Dead Eddie, for real.
He's got no arms.
He's got one arm. He chuckles and he says, "That's a word I haven't heard since I was a little one. Not a lot of folks tell those stories down here." Far as I'm aware, they're just stories.
Have you ever seen a flock of crows, ravens, whatever, follow someone for 10 years?
This is a trick question, or
Max, we're underground.
It's more like a word puzzle.
Yeah.
That's-
no? I have actually never seen a bird of any kind.
That's sad.
yeah. What about bats? Kind of like birds.
So my birds didn't follow me here.
You don't and have not seen them.
Remember, they didn't come. They stopped at that.
Yeah.
They
Like a
stopped in
mile
that
out.
tree before we got.
Interesting.
You haven't seen them
Can
in some
I-
time.
I want to turn from the group and just peek. I want to peek at the lock of hair.
With the lock of hair. I mean, it just
Oh.
looks like
The
just looks
mom
like a
hair?
lock of hair.
Okay.
The mom hair, yeah.
I have a mother.
Just looks
and
like
her
a-
name is Joanne.
And this is her hair. All right, yeah. You still have the hair. You just don't see any birds or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he shrugs and says, "I'm not really certain entirely what it is you are asking me, but all I can say for certain is we know that everything we make here gets sent out into the world and sold. A lot of folks assume that means that the people who are doing the buying don't know where it comes from. But I think there's a certain amount of willful ignorance in that. Because I think plenty of people know where it comes from and what happens here. And I just don't care enough not to buy it.
It's too convenient.
I can confirm as someone who actively knocks off shipments of things going across the country to send things back in, among other things. They know exactly where it's coming from. Usually on
Done
the-
enough runs. Done enough smuggling runs to know that. And yeah, at this point in your conversation, you can start to hear noises. You start to hear this kind of a dull roar. And at first you're a little alarmed, but then you start to realize that what you're hearing is just civilization. It's just people talking and laughing and yelling and moving around. It's just sort of the general sounds of a populated area, but it has been so dead quiet aside from the noises of the wagon since you got here that it sounds cacophonous at first. There are no walls, at least not that you can see, or anything surrounding Central Slum. And as far as you can tell, there's no one guarding it either. As you approach, you can see that from the outside at least, you're just sort of looking at a sprawling community. You're not sure, it's kind of impossible for you to tell exactly how large it is because from what you can see, there is no second level. It's kind of a shanty town. The buildings that you can see have kind of been built together by roughly attaching pieces of metal or other materials, stone. You don't see anything really organic, as far as you can tell, that was used in its construction. But as you cross over into the slum itself, you can see that the source of the lights that you've been seeing hang from like lines crisscrossing the upper levels of these sort of like lean-tos and shanties. And hanging from these lines are these little glass orbs that give off light in different colors, blues and greens and reds and yellows. And that is the only source of light that you can see. But it's enough. Pretty much immediately you start passing by other people. You, by and large, they are dirty. They are not friendly looking, and they studiously avoid making eye contact with you or looking at you for too long or anything like that. Everybody seems true to Monahan's warning. Everybody seems to be minding their own business, going about their own stuff. You can see that there are some of them are carrying objects wrapped in cloths. Some of them are carrying bundles of things. A few barrels even. And then, in between these sort of alleys and gaps between some of these shacks, you can see people much bolder, sort of just, staring back at you from the shadows as you pass by. And mixed in among these many humans, you see maybe a die day here or there. You see, you pass by one coglin, one little clockwork man, just kind of slumped down, leaning against the walls of one of the shacks, rusted, clearly ancient. And you also start to see people that you have no frame of reference for, beings that you've never seen anything like in your life. You pass by one very, very tall individual who appears to be a man of about Max's size, maybe a little bigger, but with like a bull's head. And even stranger still than that, people who look essentially a small cluster of people who look essentially human, except their skin is this sort of pale lavender color, and they lack eyes of any kind. And stranger and stranger. Definitely not the majority. The majority is clearly extremely in favor of just humans, much like yourselves. But for whatever reason, there are lots of other strange folk here in Central Slum. And as you turn a corner, you find yourself in what is clearly a market of some kind. There are stalls set up around the outside. The hum of conversation is even louder here. And within the stalls, you can see what are clearly merchants calling out, offering things, selling things. You can smell cooking, and you sort of suddenly become aware of exactly how hungry you are by this stage in your journey. And the entirety of this open market is strung with those same sort of colored, glowing, clearly magical lights over a collection of roughly made stone and metal furniture. And Monahan kind of like looks at you and gestures with his left arm widely. Says, "All right. Welcome to Central Slum."
Thank you
So
for that.
can we eat things down here? Is that a good idea?
Sure,
I
you
mean,
can. Yeah.
Unless you packed a lunch, you don't have much choice, Wayne.
You never
Could
know.
have already ate, but somebody stopped me.
Well, the food never hurt me down here, so I think you'll be safe.
It's good.
Might not be what you're used to, but it ain't
If
gonna
you
kill
don't
you.
ask, just don't ask what it is. You'll feel better about it, probably.
Yeah, that'd perhaps be wise.
So where to? We need some information. Where do we go to get some information?
Well, technically, the questions I asked, you never did fully answer. Don't know if that's because you don't have an interest in answering, or if you want
Why
something for
don't
the answer.
we get some food in us, and then we'll have a seat and we'll talk. Shall we?
It's fair.
Do
All right. So he sort of leads you directly through the center of the market, and over towards where are my notes? Over towards one particular stall. And where is here we go. Yep. He leads you over towards one of the stalls. In particular, behind this this stall, you can see in a very dirty sort of like smock apron thing that was maybe white at one point. Hard to say. You can see where is this stuff? You can see a being who is completely devoid of any sort of hair whatsoever, whose skin is sort of this mottled blue-green that's sort of shining wetly, almost like it's covered in a fine layer of slime or oil or something. Hard to say. But you can sort of see that same sort of oil or whatever is being secreted has sort of soaked through the clothing that it is wearing.
Oh
Is that a problem?
Is that in characters? That's
no! That's just like a personal.
just Max from the back, just a.
He has or they have no nose, just a couple of slits, and where a mouth would be, you just sort of see a collection of tentacles. He sort of leans casually on the counter in front of his stall, and as you approach, sort of nods and in a very sort of thick and wet voice says, "Monahan, been gone for a spell. Eddie sort of nods at him and says, Clemp?
Plant?
Clemp.
Clemp? Excuse
How much worse?
His name is Klemp. Clemp.
Go ahead and add that to the notes here.
Yeah.
My new backup.
Clemp, is your new backup character? An extremely moist voice. Yes. He also has 2 sets of like just solid black eyes.
Are they like
So 4
here
eyes
and
in
here,
total.
or are they like here and here?
Stacked.
Stacked. This guy's stacked.
Stacked.
Stack.
Got a stack of eyes. But yeah, he nods. Eddie says, Clemp, just passing through on business. Clemp says, yeah, well, aren't you always? Who are your friends? Oh, never you mind them. They're just passing through as well. Not important. I think we're gonna probably get the 4, 5 sets of the 5 orders of the salt broth.
Plant special.
And Clem sort of shrugs and says, all right, coming right up. Turns around and there's just sort of one gigantic pot on a burner of some kind behind him. And there's just a large spoon sticking out of it. You're not sure, but it looks like it's maybe just a piece of metal that you can see sticking out of it. And there is steam rising off of it, and he just starts sort of stirring. He reaches out with one hand, with sort of 4 fingers that appear to also be tentacles, and pulls a handful of something, you're not sure what, out of a basket that's up on a shelf, and drops them into this pot and starts continuing to stir.
You got any specials, Clemp?
Yeah, the salt broth.
Oh,
All right. What about off menu? You got any kind of secret specials we might be able to peruse?
Off menu.
No, this is a horrible
Interesting.
idea.
You're making some weird choices here, Wayne.
He looks over at you, looks over at Eddie, who sort of shrugs, says, what do you got to trade?
Well, and I pull 2 gold pieces out of my pocket. I say, well, I've got these. Split between my fingers. Put them down on the table.
As you start to pull your hand, out of your pocket, before you say this, Eddie's gonna grab your wrist, stop you from taking it out of your pocket, and when you look over at him,
I
Clem's
reach
back
in
is
there.
still to you all while he's stirring the thing. He's gonna grab your wrist and just sort of like shake his head before you can pull the coins out.
I pull my hand out and say I can do magic tricks, and I kind of just flourish my hands, and then nothing happens. It must be an off day. I
He
could
kind of
do
like turns
magic
around when you
tricks.
say you can, sort of turns around when you say you can do magic tricks, and watches you not do magic tricks for a second, and sort of reaches under the counter and pulls out a very dusty looking bottle that he sets down on the counter, and he says, magic tricks aren't going to get you any of this.
what's that?
Oh, this here, this is a Lauren whiskey,
Ooh.
older than any of us.
I mean, yum.
But if you're not interested, and he starts to like put it back under the counter.
I smash a hand axe on the table and I say, "We're interested."
Let's take a look. What do I have in my
Well, then we're gonna have to talk
much magic
trades,
do you
friends.
need? I don't have cards.
He,
Not magic. Magic's not gonna do us any good here. I've got plenty of that. No, I need something valuable, rare.
Do you want an autograph?
Wayne, I'm gonna have to remind you of the discussion that we had
Oh yeah, that's right.
walking into this place.
You're right. I already asked.
Now, what
They
is
don't know
that?
anything
Is that
about-
some kind of
They don't know anything about
machine,
grid
or-
skiing. Why would I even ask? Maybe we'll just stick with the salt broth. We're gonna try out the on menu, and then we'll try out the off menu.
shrugs and says, "Suit yourself." As he starts to put the bottle away, Eddie is gonna reach into he's gonna slap down on the counter in front of Klemp a like package of some kind that is clearly wet.
Just carrying that around in your pocket.
And Klemp just kind of like draws back for a second and then looks up at Eddie and says, "Is that what I think it is?" And Eddie nods and kind of like smiles to himself as he unrolls the bundle of cloth. And you can see these they're about 5 long, pitch black shapes in there. They are so dark that it is very difficult to distinguish one from another. They all kind of blend together into one dark mass. But if you look closely enough, you can see a collection of pale white needle-like teeth sticking out of one end, one of them. And Monahan nods and says, "Blackwater eels? Brought them all the way here?" And Klemp very quickly sort of like rolls the bundle back up and like tucks it under his arm and brings out like 5 stone cups and starts pouring out the whiskey. He says, that'll do since we're friends, Monahan. I'll cut you a discount.
Don't forget to pour one for yourself.
Max,
All right, I will.
Classy. Buying one for the bartender. It shows real class, especially when it's not your money.
I was gonna say,
Just saying.
And after
Right here
he
for a
divvies out, after he pours some of the amber liquid into a cup for each of you, he adds a bowl, which is full of this very oily brown liquid that has some sort of like some very dense looking lumps floating in it.
I toss that back.
All right. He does put a spoon into each one of them, but you can absolutely just sort of.
When I put it down, he puts the spoon in it, and it's done.
Okay.
I haven't finished it.
Max has already slammed back his salt broth.
Oh,
All right.
well,
It is as advertised, a salty broth,
delicious.
some sort of dense, chewy lumps added in.
That's pretty good.
Great. Really.
You never
Extra,
eat yours, Hunter?
extra chewy.
I was going to say, I feel like Hunter just eats a tiny bit and then is like, "You want the rest, Max?"
Yeah.
I like a customer with an appetite. You get hungry, you know where to find me. I'll be here. And
Kelly just springs
Monahan
in
nods. Yeah, Monahan nods at Klemp and says the eels will cover the cost of food too. And Klemp looks like for a second he's considering arguing, but he shrugs and says, "Because we're such old friends." Um, and he picks up his bowl and sort of balances it with the cup of the whiskey and heads over to a table that's fairly removed from the majority of the crowds. Yeah, it's Electrum.
Nice.
Nice.
That's the currency, Electrum. So yeah, you can sit down, and he also starts sipping at the broth. It's mushrooms. If you're worried about the lumps, you get used to it. Can't really grow any other agriculture down here,
Max is
and
sipping
those
his
eels are about
whiskey.
the only living thing we have to eat.
Max is spying Kelly's bowl.
Settle down, would you? For the love of God.
I just love
Boy,
salt
boy.
broth so much.
So hungry.
All right.
Did you not eat? Dion made breakfast for us all. Did you not eat before we left?
Yeah. That was like 3 hours ago.
It's been longer than that.
Is it?
It's been longer than that.
It's been much longer.
It's hard
than
to
that.
tell. It's dark down here. You know, you don't have the sun to
No.
go by.
Really?
You
I don't
did
have the
like
pro-
break
I don't
every
have the,
bone of your.
Yeah.
You did break every bone in your body and then
If-
heal from it.
Yes.
If Max uses the fact that he fell off the side of the mountain
Did I use
as
one of
like
my bones
to
flavor
guilt
the
me, I will give him half of my broth.
I was going
No,
to say
no, it's
Hunter
okay.
might be the one to say it, not in a way to guilt you, but just be like, well, I mean, of course he's hungry. He broke like all of his bones.
And Kelly will just be like, and she'll just like stare Max down and take like a deep drink, and then she will hand over the rest of the broth. Just like, you little
No.
baby.
It's okay.
No, it's too late.
Okay.
Now you gotta fucking drink it.
It's fucking good.
So, your questions. Let's get into it. And he takes a sip from the whiskey cup.
So we're looking for our friend. There must have been some kind of, I'm sure there's shipments coming in and out, but from what I understand, the walls came up not so long ago, right? Or the gates came down, or however it were. So there must have been something big that came in right before that happened, I would imagine.
I think you're misunderstanding.
Well, when the town disappeared a couple days ago, didn't like everything get shut down in Barrow? Didn't they like drop their gates and everything?
No, the gates have been dropped for like over 100 years.
Or didn't like trade stop happening? Like didn't they
Trade
like
stopped.
draw everything? And yeah, so it must have been
Yeah.
right before trade stopped. Something must have come in here.
Wait.
That might be a lot of things, but that narrows it down a little bit.
The town disappeared 3 days ago. How long has it been since Ryan's body's been taken?
3 days and 20 minutes, something like
Like
that.
4 days, I
16
guess.
seconds.
Well, how long were we unconscious after Lamplighter Tower, after the roots? Because
It's been about a week since Ryan died because you
Yeah.
traveled north into Stormhold. You spent the night there with Rodney, and then you traveled south from there to Kalefell.
But Kilfell has only been gone for 3 days.
It
No.
was gone for. Go ahead.
I would say it was gone for longer than that technically, because we were told after we woke up at after the roots, we were told it had been gone for 3 days. So
Yeah.
3 days plus
Oh.
the 2, so like 4 or 5
Okay,
days.
so it wasn't like a coincidence.
So he would have been one of the last things that came in here, presumably.
Almost certainly. Folks, like I said, don't normally come into Barrow. I mean, you can't unless you get smuggled in. Not many folks make it through the gap either. Fewer survive the trip to a slum. It's a risky proposition entering the city of the dead.
He
Most of the
wasn't.
folks you see around here were born here.
He was probably brought in by one of the undead who go out to sell the wares. So I don't think he would have come anywhere near this level.
You said your friend died.
Yes.
Killed by a big
We're
ghost man.
We are quite certain he is dead. It happened quite literally within touching distance.
What was it killed him?
Big ghost.
A black, shadowy creature.
That's what I said.
We didn't really get a
Wraith.
clear identification. Can't say that sounds wrong though.
A wraith.
Sounds like a wraith.
Is that
Which
something that
means-
stems from here?
Oh, certainly. Yeah, Wraith is dead.
Huh.
Wraiths are very dead. But they don't raise folk. Plenty of the undead, they kill you. Come back as one of them. Not wraiths. That said, the only reason I can think why they might bring a corpse all the way back here is to do just that.
That's what we're concerned about too.
Unless he's got some sort of information they could extract. Something that they need.
That is again what we're worried about.
Yep.
You're hitting on a lot of
Well, then in that
a lot of
case-
deep-seated concerns.
In that case, it's hard to say. I mean, look, if they just need to get information from his spirit, they can do that, no problem. But if it's some other reason that they're bringing him back, can't imagine what it would be. Unless maybe he was the nicest, most handsome man that ever lived or something.
You met
He was
Ryan Beckinsale. You know Ryan Beckinsale?
No, I've never met him, but it sounds like what I described.
Kinda
Sounds like a
you
great
know him.
guy.
That's a dead ringer for Ryan Beckinsale.
You guys are
Right,
worse
Max?
than
Honestly-
zombies out there.
Honestly, it was just a feeling
Cult.
in deep inside that I just went with it.
God damn.
Mhm.
He's not important, but if someone were to take an important package somewhere,
Mhm.
where would that be?
So
Hmm.
he'd certainly be in the upper city.
Upper city.
He'd be in the upper city for sure. The question is, which of the towers?
Mm.
What are the different towers?
Well, it's not
Uh,
necessarily they all have a different purpose. It's just that
Oh.
there are a lot of towers.
Hmm.
All those spikes that you could see from above the wall before we climbed down the wall or the cliffside.
Oh.
Those.
Oh.
The towers.
See, I mean this is the dregs. This is the
Yeah.
bottom of the barrel. The real city. It's up there.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay.
This is almost the limited. This is the most free people kind of get in Barrow
Mm.
is this city. Is this part of the city, really?
You said wraiths don't tend to bring people back to life. Or back.
No.
But are they considered hired assassins? Could they kill for someone else?
I suppose, but there's really nobody within my frame of reference dangerous enough to merit that.
What do you mean?
I mean that I've spent the entirety of my life in the slums. And if the undead notice you, take note of you for some reason, you don't live to tell the tale. Hired assassin or no hired assassin.
Mm.
You disappear. It's easy enough. But what you got to understand is that for every living pulsar you see around here in the slums, there's 100 more up there. Working, being bred, being fed off of. I mean, this, at best, Central Slum is a corpse factory for them. They wipe us out. They don't get any more of our dead. But they leave us alone, let us keep our heads down, make babies. Those babies grow up, they die. Every couple of months, the dead roll through, collect the bodies. But up there, folks work.
Mm.
It is a literal hell. It's not. It's not easy.
So, when I answer your questions, you got to understand that it is from the perspective of somebody who's never even seen the factories, the forges.
Mm.
In the upside, I have. So we just need to get up to that level.
His eyebrows go up.
Yes? Do you have a question?
Oh, no, ma'am.
Would it be stupid?
Yes.
Probably yes. Go on. Talk it out. We'll workshop it.
Would it be stupid if we allowed one of us to get caught as bait? Kelly, you said you know your way around up there.
I've been up there. I don't.
Well, you know better than anyone else. You said there's what? How many towers? Hundreds of feet, hundreds of people. We're never gonna find Ryan's body or whatever's left of him if we go up and down each tower looking around. It's gonna take too damn long.
But how is getting someone caught going to help with that? That'll just mean we have to get that person out on top of finding Ryan.
But we're the same type of potential. So maybe they'll take us to where they took him.
Or they'll take you to where they took me. And that's.
Where they made those creepy mammoth dolls.
R.I.P.
On several occasions.
Pour one out for Tusky.
Or one after dusk.
The hope would be once we get up there, it'll be clearer to tell once we're closer which towers they've got dedicated to what things.
Mhm.
And then we can just narrow it down from there.
Gotcha. One step at a time, right? That's kind of how we're gonna have to take this one. So, next step,
You know.
how do we get up there, right? How are we gonna do that?
We got it. Well,
Get
that
caught.
there's a way up.
No, I don't know that we're gonna need to get caught.
You don't want to get caught. I don't know if I can stress this to you enough, Max. Firstly, I will not be caught again. Second off, I don't think you want to let yourself be caught.
I can't much imagine any scenario in which it would be a good idea to let yourself get caught.
I just explained one, but it's fine if you don't understand.
Max,
Mhm,
if you get caught,
mhm.
I'll kill you before they take you up there. You
That
do
could be
not
fun.
want to be caught.
Okay.
Yeah, Max, we
Oh,
don't
we
want
were
anything to
brainstorming.
happen. We don't want anything to happen to you.
I think you need.
I'm invincible, baby.
Didn't you see how far I fell?
Every bone in my body was broken, and here I stand sipping whiskey. Okay.
That's a dope sentence.
It's true.
Just cram all that writing onto a pair of booty shorts.
Yeah. Merch drop.
All class reunion merch
Yes.
is just variations of booty shorts.
It's true.
Yes. Okay, cool. You sorry, I lost the plot. For a second.
So the
there.
question-
Did a little
so the
bit.
question
Sorry, I was thinking about the
stands.
booty shorts.
How do we get up there? That's the question at this point. How do we get up there?
My estimation, you'd need a contact
Mm-hmm. Okay.
in the city.
Okay. All right.
But I'm
So,
afraid I am
gotcha.
I'm afraid I'm fresh out of friends up there.
Hmm.
He looks at Kelly and says, I don't suppose you know anybody.
I've got a name, but it's been almost 4 years now. I don't know if he's still there. I also don't know if he'd respond to me specifically.
Well, I could put the word out. You want to give me the name? See if anyone I know happens to know them.
It's Edmund Veers. He worked in one of the factories. 4 years ago, he was with a group of people who were talking about the possibility of either trying to start more aggressively forcing people out through the gap, or trying to take the aggression directly to the undead themselves. But like I said, I do not know what happened to him. But that's the only name I've got.
Well, for our sake, let's hope he didn't try.
Fingers crossed.
All right. It's about the only lead I can think of. It ain't the hardest to get up in the city. But you won't be able to move around like they do. You won't be able to move between the levels. You got something to say?
Yeah, you're just wrong about that. I can climb.
Ah.
Yeah, that's not how they move around.
There's windows. right?
He's got a lot of spirit.
A lot
No,
of
no, I
heart.
can-
A lot of hustle on the
can-
field.
I can climb anywhere.
All right. I mean,
I'm like
call that plan B.
spider monkey.
You just put a pin
The
in that.
monkey. Yeah,
Like a
monkey.
gorilla.
So do you think we could disguise ourselves? Is there any way where we may be able to, trick or fool our way through?
Uh, Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Like, it's not a good idea, but there are objects that can make you look like them, make you smell like them, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
They know their own. The real difficulty is going to be selling it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you may have to do things, monstrous things.
Mm.
Though I guess I'd suppose the friend here was about to eat rotting human flesh. So,
Yeah, he sure was about to do that.
Guilty.
when in Rome, just trying to get a feel for the local culture.
All I'm saying is I can climb up on the outside, climbing through any window. I don't really get tired.
Yeah, but that doesn't super help us with the whole like low profile thing. I'm pretty sure the second you start Spider-Man crawling up a wall, everyone's gonna notice. Can you change your appearance? Can you make yourself invisible? What other weird shit can you do that you haven't told me yet?
I can
Weird shit.
grow claws.
Okay, good for climbing. Good for
Mhm.
climbing. Still,
I don't need him to
Um,
climb now.
We will
Okay.
continue to call this plan Plan B.
plan C or D. baby.
Max,
Spider-Man
As you-
sailing, just
Ooh.
scampering.
Max, as you are describing all of the ways that you could climb up into the city of the dead,
Mm.
you start to you feel strange. You start to feel strange.
Mm.
Your body starts to itch,
Itch?
sort of itch. Yes. Um,
The soup had pine
kind of
nuts
catch
in it?
yourself like you kind of catch yourself sort of scratching at like the back of your hands at first, and then you kind of feel it spreading like up your arms a little bit. You don't really think too much of it until it starts to feel more intense. It starts to become almost a burning sensation
Are you
across your body.
Allergic to salt.
allergic to mushrooms?
You right there,
Monahan
bud? You
looks up and
okay?
he says, What's wrong with your friend?"
I don't know.
There's
This is
something-
new.
You guys don't feel that? There's like mosquitoes or something in here. Freaking.
Itching.
Eddie sort of looks across the market and says, well, whatever he's doing, make him stop. We're attracting attention. And across the way, you can see like there's a group of 3 individuals, one of whom is like a fairly tall man with very little hair left on the top of his head, but very sharp, angular features. He's wearing like a red long coat, and he has some scars across his face, some very vicious looking scars. There's a
Kelly.
smaller figure with him who just has a hood pulled up, is kind of hard to make out. And then a third man who is much bigger and stronger looking than the other 2 and just covered in a massive amount of body hair. But one thing you would notice about all 3 of these individuals is that around their necks, they have tattoos of a noose.
Oh no.
Yep. Kelly's gonna reach over and like lace her hand through one of like Max's hand and like force it down,
I was gonna say Hunter will take the other one.
and we will just sit on
yeah.
either side and just like
It is growing worse and worse. This sensation, this feeling on your body, Max, is getting worse and worse, more intense, and
I rip my
becoming-
hands out of their hands. And just like
God.
almost a
Oh,
compulsion. Yeah. You
gotta
start to
stop. You gotta stop, Max. You
You s-
gotta stop.
as the 2 of you are holding Max down, as he rips his arms away, you kind of see sticking out from under his sleeves, this sort of black, inky substance.
what?
I pull up the sleeve, like I pull it up to see what I
No.
can without touching
Oh,
it.
you're right.
I
That's
kinda-
a good spot.
I slap his
And it's
hand out of
kind
the
of
way.
spreading. It's kind of spreading. Like you can sort of see that it's sort of going up his entire arm.
Is there a roll I can make to try to identify what the fresh fuck that is? They're like
I'll
a
let you roll
nature,
medicine.
an arcana, medicine. Oh,
I'll
I have
let you roll
that.
medicine.
Okay.
Oh my
okay.
gosh.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
I want to roll medicine,
Am I
but it's so
clear?
bad.
Okay.
You want to
I
what?
I was gonna roll medicine, but mine is so bad. It's just like, would my man Wayne have any reason?
Eddie's gonna
Guy's
move
itchy.
Eddie's gonna move sort
14.
of between Eddie's gonna move sort of between you and the men with the tattoos who are kind of like watching you with more interest now. He's kind of trying to block them from seeing what's happening.
I think my grade
With a
actually certainly-
14, I'll tell you, you're not sure what this is exactly, but it is spreading over his body, and the best thing you can probably do is get like his shirt off to try to survey the damage, or the extent at least.
Right there,
will.
bud. Strip.
Yeah,
No.
you can kind of
What?
Take it
I
off,
mean-
Max.
Yeah.
Max, take it off. This is
Right
not funny.
here?
Just
Yeah.
Max.
Max, you've never minded taking your shirt off before.
as you shed your shirt, Max, you all can see where this black inky substance is kind of spread over his entire body, and you realize now that you've got a better look at it, it's not on top of his skin. It's under his skin.
No.
No.
And as you look at it, as you watch it spread and swirl around, it starts to take shape.
Bird Mom's gonna punch out of
start
your
to see
chest.
you start to see the vague shapes of ravens take form,
Jesus fucking
What the
Christ.
fuck?
and
It's gonna
where
be like
each one
alien.
appears, the skin starts to bulge outwards, like something is trying to escape from inside of him.
I think at this point I would just rage. and just use my claws and just literally just start like raking at myself.
And as you do that, as you start just cutting bloody strips of your own skin open,
Straight.
out
Filler
of these
time.
wounds start wriggling and crawling fully grown ravens.
This will happen. Kelly's gonna look over at Eddie and be like, "Well, you've seen a bird now."
His eyes are fucking wide. And he like glances over his shoulder and says, "All right, well, you're going to want to get him on his feet because the hanged men are coming over now." And that
No.
is where we're going to end this session.
What the fuck?
They're popping out of you like the alien from Alien.
That's
Mhm.
literally, I hate it.
I hate it and I love it.
It's the worst.
Yeah. It's the worst.
I didn't want you to miss your friends.
You're right.
I didn't
So
want you to get
kind that you
lonely.
had them come
Yeah.
along.
Yeah, thanks for having
Mhm.
me. Come with me.
Hmm.
Be with me at all times.
All
All
right. Well, you made it to Central Slum. You are deep within Barrow. You didn't get eaten by zombies, so
Sick.
call it a win. And Max has his birds back.
Yay!
Yay.
W's all around.
No.
W's all around, nothing but wins. Hey, if you're watching this, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Thanks for chatting, donating if you did so. It's fine if you didn't. Subscribing, following us, rating. Thank you to our raid this evening. Thank you to everybody who donated to Planned Parenthood. Yeah, just generally, thanks for caring about what we do and paying attention to us. If we didn't have you, we would just be talking to ourselves, which we do anyway. But it's more fun this way. Yeah, we are. We're live from the apocalypse. We are doing a bunch of new stuff. We actually have a new game. We had a new game start this past Sunday. It's called Veil Breakers. It is it's another 5e homebrew, which was very, very cool. It was a great first session. The premise is super cool. It's like a group of heroes who have tried to save the world, have failed to save the world, have died, and are now in the process of figuring out why they are alive again, and whether or not they're getting a second chance, or this is the afterlife, or what is really happening. So that's Veil Breakers. That's going to be every other Sunday. Check that out. Tomorrow night, we have another 5e game starting called The Mercy of Time. I know, crazy. We're like basically a D&D channel now.
Are we like trendsetters? Like,
I know, right? Have you guys heard about this Dungeons and Dragons thing? It's pretty underground. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That is going to be sort of like a calamity game where our group is trying to avert some unknown disaster as of right now. I can't actually speak too much about the plot because I get to play in that game. And so I don't know much about it. Yeah, I'm very excited about that. So come back tomorrow night, I believe 8 p.m. EST, because our GM is on West Coast California time. And check that out. What else do we have? I guess that's it. Missing Numbers next Tuesday. Check that out. That's our Pokemon game. And we have a couple other new projects in the works as well that we are not ready to talk about yet. However, yeah, follow us if you're not already following us, and you can find out all that information as we reveal it. Go ahead and follow us on the tweets, the Twitter. You can join our Discord community. It is a nice haircut. Did we say that, Raph? Nice haircut.
thank you.
Good haircut.
can't really
Everybody
see it,
say
it's too
nice
dark in
haircut,
here.
Raph.
Nice haircut.
Nice haircut.
Nice haircut, Raph.
And
Nice haircut, Raph.
I'll
I
post
meant
pictures
the chat,
sometime.
but thank you all too.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that is gonna do it for us tonight. I'm sure we will find somebody to raid. So we're gonna disappear for like 5 seconds, and then we will go hop over and say hello to to somebody else who's making some great TTRPG content. There are so many people on twitch.tv who do that. So don't go anywhere. Stick around, say hi, follow us, and come back tomorrow night for Mercy of Time.
Love
Have a good
us.
night, everybody,
Thank you.
and say good night. Yeah, please love us. We crave attention and validation.
Goodbye. I
The
love
birds
you.
need love.
Good night.
Birds do
Good
need love.
night.
I
Good
love you.
night. Good night. Good night.